Welcome back to another episode of Rated TNT with Tim and Tay, the show where we talk about TV, movies, fandom, fanfics, and everything in between. I'm Tim. This is Tay. Thank you all for being here. And we are back with our very special guests, Alex and Tress, for the third and sadly final installment of our Heated Rivalry Breakdown series. Thank you both for being here again. In this episode, we will be breaking down episode five and the finale of Heated Rivalry with a slightly different flow to the show. So, because these are probably the two most talked about episodes, probably neck and neck with episode one and two. We are giving them the time that they deserve and cutting out the two takes and read the tag segments to fully devote our time together to dissecting these episodes because there was a lot to discuss. So let's start at the top of episode five. I'll believe in anything. The Rose Landry of it all.
My queen. I love Rose. I love the way that she handled that situation. She was just so kind with Shane and, didn't push him. It was just such a lovely conversation. I love the way that she handled that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best coming out scenes I've seen on television, especially in recent years. It was so well done. I think I've said before that I think Jacob and Rachel wrote these female characters to not just they could have easily been the villain, but they made them very supportive and not just supportive allies, but also just genuinely good people. Like they're you can tell they're good people, and I think that makes such a difference. The way Rose handled that conversation was done with so much like Tress said, just kindness. Like there was so much kindness in the way she went about it. And it genuinely reminded me so much of a conversation I had with my friend in high school. I was the first person he came out to, and I remember that fear. Like I remember hearing it in his voice. I thought something crazy was happening. I was like, what is going on? Like what? And then he told me, and I was like, oh, okay, that's good. But like it I remember hearing that fear and seeing it, that was over the phone. So seeing Shane's face, I was just like, oh my God, it's so emotional. It was so good though. It was so well done. So well done.
I forgot that it didn't start with the restaurant. It
It
started,
didn't.
episode started with
Yeah.
that like failed attempt at them hooking up. And
Again.
I rewatched it. I don't know why I felt like I needed to rewatch it because I feel like I can quote it word for word if I'm being honest. But I did rewatch it like this week to be ready for this. And do you think she knew then in that moment, like when she was like, "Oh, like I have to go back to set, or I have to go back to my hotel for like my pickup or something like that"? Do you think because she was the one that was like, "Oh, we should do dinner at some point this like
Yeah.
soon"? Do you
Yeah,
think she knew then?
Yeah.
I I definitely do think she knew then because I think at that point she had already been thinking about it.
Mm.
And then when she was just like, "Yeah, let's do dinner," and she was like, "Actually, you need to talk. We gotta talk, man." Like there's something that's not clicking here, and yeah. So no, I definitely think she knew at that point because I think their relationship spans like 3 months, and so I think at that point she'd already had it in her mind, had thought about it, and was like, maybe this is the case. And that probably was confirmation for her.
Yeah. I think she was very much like, I'm 95% sure, but let me have this conversation with him just to get to that 100%. Um, I think she was already like skeptical. And I think just from that, and I think even in the books, doesn't she say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, y'all. What I read in the books, what happened in the show, and what I read in the fic is all starting to blur together.
It's
Yeah.
all one thing
It's
now.
all starting to
Yeah.
blur together. So correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't she say, I actually cannot remember if this was in the book or not, but she said something along the lines of like she can always tell, or like a guy has never had an issue performing with her.
Hmm.
Like, and she said that was like her first clue because she's like, I've just never had that issue happen except for very specific boyfriends. and she references how she had a lot of boyfriends. I don't know if that was in the book or not.
I remember it too, but we also
Okay.
do read a lot of the same fics, so
That's true.
Because
I
I
could
don't
also
remember if
be
that was in the book.
misquoting.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was in the book.
I do.
don't
I feel like
Sounds
that was a
right.
part of it. I think
Right.
I feel like she did say that at the restaurant.
Right. Like I have such a vivid memory of that, but I could be wrong. I could be confusing it with like a fic or something. But yeah, damn, I need to reread that book to be honest, because it's getting to the point where everything's blurring together.
Well, now we have time. We have a year to
We
wait.
got a year.
I
hope
can't
you-
talk about that right now. A
You
year
know?
is crazy.
But did you see Jacob Tierney said we won't have to
I'm not
wait
gonna-
2 years? She was like, we won't even have to wait 18 months.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because he knew 2 years
Yeah,
was too long.
that's too long.
Yeah.
And
Come on,
Rachel's
Jake.
coming out with a new book, right? I think I saw that
Yes.
today.
Ray Ray's
That's
coming
good.
out with book 7. It's going to be the final book of the series, and the synopsis is crazy.
Yeah. And let me
Oh,
tell you. Oh.
You just called that lady Ray. Ray is sending.
Ray, look, those are our close personal friends. Ray and Jay Money.
Ray and Jay.
Like, let me tell you though, Ray will quickly go back to Rachel if she has one of them cheat on the other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Promise.
fact.
Yeah.
Promise.
Or we do anything open? No.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Yeah.
No.
Miss Reed.
No, she won't even just be Rachel. She will be Miss Reed. Like, it will not.
Facts.
We gonna get real strict.
Yeah.
Because absolutely not. Shane was ready to bomb that fucking cabin when
Facts.
Ilya suggested I could marry Svetlana.
Ooh, that was good food. Yeah.
That look was downright murderous. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Svetlana, girl, you need to run.
Run,
There's
sister.
an angry Canadian after you.
And he not playing neither. So
Speaking of, if it's beef with Shane and Svetlana, it's definitely beef with Ilya and Rose.
Hell
Because
yeah.
him
he's her
in
number
his
one hater.
in his petty hater era, I loved it.
Oh, I be eating them fix up too. Jealous Ilya. Oh, they
And
go. Mm.
Shane saying, Ilya, I'm gay. I don't know why, but the way he said it
Hilarious.
is so funny to me. Like, I'm gay. Do you know? Like, I'm gay. I do not want that woman. I am gay.
Ilya said, and I don't care.
He was being cognizant. He knows sexuality is a spectrum, and he just wanted to
Right.
be sure. He just wanted to be certain.
That shit was so funny to me, though. Oh,
Yeah, I love the dinner. I feel like you said, definitely one of the best coming out scenes I've ever seen, like on TV, period. When I saw them going to dinner, because there was also a quick flash of like Scott Hunter doing his like Captain America, Captain Jack Sparrow run in this situation. Aren't they supposed to be like celebrities? How is it that they can just go out and do stuff just because?
There's a difference between like sports fame and actual like celebrity fame.
But
Especially-
isn't Rose supposed to be like a movie star?
yeah.
Who?
She's supposed to be. I thought they
Oh,
based
you talking about Rose?
I mean, just in general, like I saw them go to dinner and I was like, they just both sort of walked in here. Like, I was like, aren't y'all supposed to be like famous? Like, are y'all not worried about people,
paparazzi.
like taking your picture or doing something to you? Like, they just seem to just go wherever they
I
want
did
to.
think it was kind of odd to have that conversation at a public restaurant, knowing
They're
who they
famous.
are.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, because Rose Landry, she's pretty much meant to be like Jennifer Lawrence. Like,
Right. She's the it girl at the moment.
right. Like, and she was painting herself blue at the end of episode 5 and doing not an X-Men, what do they call it? Like an X Squad movie.
Yeah.
It was very clearly meant to be Mystique, Jennifer Lawrence. So there's no way Jennifer Lawrence would have been able to go to a restaurant
No.
And not
with
been
her if she was dating an athlete boyfriend, like a captain of an NHL team. Like, granted, there is a difference, but she's definitely famous enough to bring in a crowd. I thought having that conversation in public was a choice.
Yeah.
But like, what if the restaurant wasn't empty? Would she just would have been like, actually, let's just get takeout? We like, then what? I thought that was risky, but for the sake of the show, it worked.
I think I was more so thinking of like Scott running on the street
Yeah.
for sure. Like there is a difference between like sports fame, and because it's a couple of football players who date very famous women, and like a lot of people only know them from being connected to this woman, even though
Right.
they have like actual
Yeah.
successful careers in sports. But yeah, Shane, by the time that he was dating her and it was like everybody knew it, they would have been hounded at that restaurant. I just feel like that, yeah, they for sure would have been recognized. Because it was paparazzi that was a part of the show. What is that, episode 4? Where it
Yeah,
showed
when
all
they
of
first
the
started.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, all the blogs and things that were being posted about them and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh
They showed
yeah,
like
and that little montage.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And they had like a little e-news-esque
Right.
segment of
Yeah.
like
So
reporters
clearly
talking
people
about
follow
them.
you. They follow
Yeah.
you
TMZ.
around. They're interested in what you're doing. So like, how can y'all just show up here?
I never thought about that until this moment. See my close personal friends, Rachel and Shane, eating dinner, and I'm like, but well, that's true.
Yeah. That's why I love that fic where the conversation gets leaked.
Leaked. Oh, same, Alex, same.
Send that to me, girl. Send that to me.
Like that fic was so good because it was so realistic. I was like, oh, this easily could have fit in the show.
Something else about that conversation, though, that I want to point out was the montage that is going through Shane's mind as Rose is asking him the questions about the if he'd ever been with a man, was it different, yada yada yada. Somebody pointed out that the scene where they're in the hotel after the All Star um, weekend, I think, where the room is next to Scott Hunter,
Mhm.
that there's a difference between the actual scene that we saw versus how Shane remembered it. I think it was something to do with like Ilya smiling and like I think his hand placement. I need to go back and watch it. I think that it was a slight difference in like the way in which he smiled, but I was very happy with the scenes that they chose. None of them were obviously like sexual scenes. Obviously, you love this man down.
Right.
You're not even
Right.
thinking about anything but him
Right.
kissing you, looking at you. You love this man down, but you on this date with this lady. Be for real. But I think there's another thing that the show does so well with anything. I think every single montage in the show they've done extremely well. But I wanted to know, like, did y'all catch that there was a difference between those scenes?
No, and I'm gonna be honest, when I saw someone point it out on Twitter and put the two scenes next to each other, I still didn't notice the difference. But I believe people when they say there's a difference.
There's a
But
difference,
Yeah.
yeah.
to my eye, it did in fact look the exact same to me.
Same.
But I believe that there is a difference. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Because I
Yeah.
think it's probably so subtle. And I think it makes sense for it to be a subtle difference because it's coming from Shane's point of view versus like, yeah. But
It was intentional though. If there is a difference, like, do you think it was an intentional difference, or
I
they
saw
just
people making it intentional, and they were like, "Oh, Shane experiences their relationship in this way,"
yeah,
and I like that. Like right, I love to hear it. I didn't notice it myself, but I
yeah.
I love to hear it. I'm not gonna say you're lying because
right.
I don't
I'm
know.
ready to accept that headcanon. So
Same.
there's no argument on my end.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. If you saw it and you said it was there, it was
There.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're right though, that montage was super cute. Like that whole conversation, I could do a fucking TED talk on that like 6 minute scene. It was so, and it was such a hell of a start to episode 5. Like
Yeah.
going from episode 4 to that, like even though again that wasn't the first conversation, that was like the first big scene. Like that was like it started what, like maybe 2 minutes into the episode, if not sooner. Like it was so well done. And that scene let me know then and there. I was like, oh, episode 5 is about to fuck me up. Like I'm about to be tore up by the end of this episode. And tore up I was. That it the episode literally, like it already started all the way up here and it somehow managed to just keep getting better throughout the whole episode.
Have to agree. And I want to talk about the bar scene, but we cannot leave the dinner without talking about I kind of prefer being the whole rather than the
A crazy
rather
thing
than
to
the pay.
say.
When I listen, I this was one of the first things that people told me. Like because I saw the show first and then I started reading the books later. And a question that I had was does Shane get to do the bending at some point?
Yeah, he
Is
did.
that on the agenda for them? And people kept commenting he prefers to be the hole rather than the peg. And I was like, what an odd way to phrase that. But okay. And then like I finally got to that part in the
Yeah,
story and I was like, oh, and I was curious if that was something that they were going to keep, and I'm glad that they did.
very. Like that was and the way Hudson delivered the line was 10 out of 10. Like
So good.
10 out of 10. He's so awkward. I love him
He does it so well. Like
so well.
you really believe that like in that moment, like he was nervous about saying it, and but like also kind of like not necessarily pleased with himself, but I kind of feel like he was in the
He
way in which
was.
he was about to say he was so pleased with how with delivering
Yeah,
that line, the little
yeah.
laugh that he does. Yeah, Hudson ate that up, which he ate the entire scene up. Y'all
And
know that little thing he do where the tears is just resting on his eyeline, resting on the lashes, not dropping. Oh.
I think like we see that throughout the whole show, and because he doesn't actually shed tears until episode 6. And I really think that the reason why he like withholds his tears so much, because like I've talked about this at length, but like not Hudson, Shane loves to be in control. And I think he thinks if he keeps the tears from actually falling, that he's still in control, that he's not actually showcasing that much emotion. And I also think part of it's a need for control, and then part of it is just him being neurodivergent as well. Like there's a difference in how he expresses his emotions. And I think it's so well done. There's a TikToker. If I can find the video, I'll send it to y'all. So that way you can like maybe like put his at or something in here. But he breaks down the way that Hudson played Shane as autistic in a way that like completely broke all the stereotypes of how a lot of autistic characters are played. And he talks specifically about how he portrays like emotion and how it's so different from like he compared it to like characters from like The Good Doctor or Big Bang Theory, and seeing those like differences. And I think I want to say the New York Times or maybe like Time Magazine just wrote an article specifically about how Shane Hollander breaks that mold of autistic characters we see on television. If I find it, I will send it to you guys. It was so good. And I think that's one of the things that makes Shane's character, what's the word? I feel like refreshing is so overused, but just makes him a bit different and almost like a bit more relatable because he's not fitting into that stereotype, that trope that everyone sees. So I think more people are able to connect with him in ways they haven't other characters. Whether they're neurodivergent or not, just I think because he breaks that mold, and Shane and Ilya in general, like their whole relationship just kind of breaks the mold of like toxic masculinity. um but adding in that layer to it, I think it just I think Hudson just did such a good job. I love him. My Aquarius twin, my birthday twin.
It's
oh,
so
that's
crazy to think.
right.
Yeah,
It's so crazy to think that Jacob pulled these boys out of the Olive Garden.
Out
And
the
out
was
of
like,
Olive
Olive
you know
Garden.
what? You know
Ugh.
what?
They
Throw
was
that,
working at
throw,
Bass Pro Shop.
listen, throw that little motherfucking apron to the side because I got something for you. Okay.
Come clock in,
It
baby.
is just
Actually.
clock
look and
in.
clock in they did.
Yeah,
Like it
they
is
had one
so
shot. They knew they
it's
had one shot.
right. And it's so crazy because like they had no idea this was gonna be what it was. Like
Yeah.
they did what they did on that set strictly for the love of the game. They
For
had
the love of the game.
And
they
it's
had
so
no
beautiful.
idea this was going to blow up the way that it did, and they were going to blow up the way that they did. Like they did this strictly for the love of the game.
Because they
And I
sure as
love
fuck ain't do it for money. They was paid like 2 graham crackers and a
it. Right,
lollipop.
right.
Like,
They had three pennies to rub
like,
together between both of them. Like,
right. It,
yeah, they listen, and I appreciate it. Okay, I appreciate it.
yeah, I think I was like seeing like all the like someone compared Hudson going on Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, whichever Jimmy.
One of the
Um,
Jimmys.
one of
Fallon.
the Jimmys. The
I think it was Fallon.
mania, like it was Fallon.
I
Yeah, I
think
think so.
so
Okay,
because it was
yeah.
on NBC. Yeah.
Okay. Someone compared like the mania of like everyone waiting outside to Harry Styles. Like the last time they saw this big of a crowd was when Harry Styles was there. And it made me realize that the last time we saw non-Nepo babies pop up this quickly was One Direction. Like I and I don't want to say pop up this quickly because we had a lot of like breakout actors like Canton from Sinners. You know who I'm talking about? I know
Oh,
it's
Miles.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His big breakout role. You had Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another. So this was a big year for a lot of like breakout new actors, up and coming performers. But neither of them, neither their well, I'd say Sinners is probably the closest, but nowhere near the level of obsession as Heated Rivalry. And it's crazy because this was probably like the lowest budget, the least predicted. I mean, it was made with Canadian tax dollars. Shout out to Canada.
We
Right.
love
Like
Canada.
it was based off of a hockey smut romance book of any genre that would be taken less seriously by the masses. You know what I mean? Like people never take romance seriously and then smut even less seriously. I would have never predicted. When I heard the show was being made, I didn't even move because I was like, I didn't really like the books that much. So, and I didn't expect it to be anywhere close to the books, let alone better.
Facts.
Let
Actually,
alone better.
because we all know how terrible book adaptations be. We all know how terrible they are. So I think that was one of the things that was so surprising to me was how close to the book it was, and actually how it actually just added more to it. And that's from the actors. That's from Jacob actually spending the time to figure out what should stay in, what should stay out, figuring out what dialogue would work the best. And I think like the one of the things and like that makes me love episode 5 was him doing that. Like they had a lot of ground to cover for episodes 5 and 6, and cover it they did. Okay. And it just episode 5 is still my favorite. Do I love 6? I do.
Mm-hmm.
Which one has the most rewatch value for me? It's 5. I run that shit back religiously. I
Yeah.
run it back religiously. Ugh.
I feel like episode 5 proved that this wasn't just a sexy show. Like it was a show that had depth, even though we all knew that from watching the first 2 episodes and the third, then the fourth. We all knew that. Like, because there was so much plot given and there was a storyline. The storyline was thick. Like it wasn't some veiled plot and the focus was just showing 2 guys fucking. Like that was not the goal. But to the masses, I feel like episode 5 just proves like this show is more than that. This is a love story at hand. Like this is not just a story of 2 men having sex, which I think a lot of people were narrowing it down to. I think episode 5 easily, y'all have heard me say it before. The only episode of television that compares to this episode to me that came out 2025 is the trial episodes of Interview with the Vampire season 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
it. Like they are neck and neck for me in best episodes of television. Like, and best episodes of television of all time, I'd put it up there with like completely different vibe, but like Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's so good. And you know what? Going back to the book to TV adaptation, I know we're not doing hot takes. I think this is the best book adaptation since Catching Fire with Hunger Games. And I'm going to say that with my whole chest because that was just so like when you read Catching Fire, you look at the movie, it's the same vibe and it's the same thing here. Like we've seen people try to do this in the past and it just didn't work. And, you know, like Alex was saying, I feel like this is really what took the show from just like the girls loving it to everybody loving it. Like everybody was like, okay, maybe this is real television. Well, yes, like this is when the book was like sold out, like could not get it on Libby, could not get it like anywhere. Like the girls was reading the book, the girls was watching the show, and it's for good reason. I mean, it's just wow.
Why
I
do
love
you,
episode 5. Still my favorite too, although I love episode 6.
why do you think this worked and so many others don't?
Because Jacob motherfucking
Come
Tierney
on.
Say
respected the
it.
fucking source material. He
Come on.
respected
Say it
the source
again.
material. Let
Say
me
it
tell
again.
you, Rachel Reed, a bisexual woman, and Jacob Tierney, a gay man, came together and had a baby. And that baby is Heated Rivalry. And that baby went on to become the president of the world because this show if Jacob would not have respected it, if he would have listened to all the executives who were like, oh, well, I don't think they should hook up to the season finale. I don't think they should even kiss until the season finale. Let's draw it out. Let's do this. Let's focus a bit more on the women. Let's have them date someone else. Let's make like if he would have listened to all of that and said fuck the source material, the show would have went to shit. If Ryan Murphy would have touched it, it would have went to shit. If Netflix would have touched it, it would have went to shit. If
My fear is Ryan Murphy.
It would have went to shit. Like if anyone else would have touched this show, it would not have been nearly as good. Oh, I literally let's all take a moment of silence and be happy Ryan Murphy did not touch this fucking show. And I say this as someone who loves Glee. Like I think Ryan Murphy has a great mind, but I also think he can fly a little too close to the sun. And I'm trying to keep it cute, Tress. I'm trying to keep it cute. Like, I think Jacob Tierney respected the source material. I think he read the book. And yes, he understood that sex is a huge part of this story because they're two grown fucking men. They're two grown men. Of course, sex is going to be a part of their story, but also knowing that sex is just a part of relationships in general for most people. So it's not just because you include sex does not make it it doesn't mean you should dismiss it as something that's irrelevant. That's something that doesn't have true romance in it. Like, I think of all the time of like how Ariana Grande, when she was doing Wicked, had to correct some of like the producers and stuff. Like, no, I'm not Ariana Grande in Wicked. I'm Ariana Grande playing Glinda in Wicked. Yeah. I'm Glinda. I'm not Ariana, because they wanted to change certain things, add new songs that would have fit Ariana. She's like, no, I'm Glinda. I'm blonde right now. I'm Glinda. So I think it's a matter of just respecting the source material. And respecting the fans who made it.
That's who I was gonna add. Like he not only respected the source material, but gave a fuck about the audience that it was being made for. And so many showrunners, so many producers don't give a fuck about the fans, don't give a fuck about the
Which
people.
ones? Which ones?
What show is it, baby?
Which one here?
You know,
which one are we talking about?
God, that little cough in the back of my
cough got you.
Sorry.
So 911. You know, love the show down, right? But I do think that it's very apparent they do not respect their fans. They do not care about the audience that kept the show on air for 9 seasons. And
sorry, just to, I don't mean to interrupt you, but also go on to say that it's not just a matter of the buddy of it all, just the fucking storyline with Bobby.
It's trash.
Because a lot of people like to say when someone says, oh, they don't like their fans, they think we're just talking about, oh, you're just not the canon.
Bitch, no, they don't care about that. They don't care about that.
It's not about the buddy of it all at all.
No, because actually, if y'all did, buddy, I don't want y'all to do it because y'all wouldn't do it right anyways. I'm gonna keep my fix. What the fuck are we talking about?
I feel like I just went to church. Did y'all preaching? Hold on.
Like, y'all wouldn't even do that right, but there was no actual reason, and it actually pisses me off. There's no actual reason for us to have killed Bobby. That was the stupidest shit ever. And then to come back and say that you regret it.
We get distracted. We We're talking about real television.
Okay, taking it back though. It's very apparent when you watch shows who are ran and created by people that care about the audience who will consume it. And Jacob absolutely cares about his audience. Cares about the audience that made the books like as popular for him to even get the chance to make the show. Like it's he was
a fan first. He was a fan first. I'm pretty sure he said in an interview he read the books like in the pandemic. So like he knew it. Like he didn't just hear this story and like, oh, let me go see what these books are about and turn it into a show. Like it didn't feel like I'm gonna make a lot of money from this. Like I said, they had 3 pennies and they rubbed them all together and made this show, you know? So like he was a fan, and like I feel like it shows in the way that the show came to life.
I also think there's another reason why this show works so well, and I talked about this in a video. I think it's the chemistry as well between Hudson and Connor, because we are lacking real chemistry on TV. Like I have not seen the chemistry that those two have on a show since Scandal. I've not seen that since Kerry Washington and Tony Goldwyn, and I think that matters. And then when I was talking about that, there were a lot of people saying like, and I hate to bring this up, but it is kind of true. Hudson and Connor look like real people. Like we're tired of seeing everybody, lip injections, everybody filler.
From
I'm
the
sorry.
Olive
You
Garden.
know what I'm saying?
He
They
pulled them from
these
the
is real
Olive
people from the
Garden.
Olive Garden. They could have brought y'all unlimited pasta ball last night. Like they real
Right.
Speaking of, I
and we
just saw
get
some.
that.
I just saw somebody post a video that they were
I
like,
saw
"Oh,
that.
I just realized that Hudson was my server at Olive Garden."
I'm sick.
It was
There
he
was
worked
like
at
a
the
video.
old spaghetti factory, which
Yeah,
apparently is really fucking common. I ain't never heard. It must be a
same.
Canadian. I never heard of
Gotta
no old
be. I
spaghetti
ain't never heard of
But
that.
yeah, he was great in the cheese. He was great in the cheese.
Now
like
we do have the spaghetti warehouse. With that, maybe that's a Memphis thing. I don't know if anywhere else has spaghetti warehouse, but it was literally my favorite restaurant growing up.
Is that
And
different from Olive Garden?
oh yeah, it's
definitely
very.
different from Olive Garden. Olive Garden, let me tell you, I fucking love Olive Garden. I don't care what nobody says. Talking about, oh, that's great value. I've been to Italy. I've had actual Italian food cooked by the Italians. The Mamma Mia. Let me tell you, I will fuck up some goddamn Olive Garden. I don't care. Olive Garden's good as fuck. I don't care what nobody say.
Now,
Again,
With
I'm a
you
thank,
on that one. I'm with
thank
you on that
God, thank God, this is not a monetized show.
one. You know.
My fault. They'll be okay.
Hmm.
But also
We love you,
another part
Italy.
of the reason, another group of another reason why the show is so successful in terms of like them respecting fans is that we can't forget Heated Rivalry's origin story, or I guess the Game Changers origin story as Stucky Fic.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's what it started of. I mean, granted, Rachel Reed said she didn't know you could post original works on AO3, which is why she had this story and made it Stucky because she had been reading Stucky Fics, didn't know you could post original works, and so just, flipped it into that. But she said because of the support she got on AO3 and so many people loving it, that encouraged her to actually find a publisher. And that encouraged her to do that. And I think that's one of the great things about fandom spaces and why, I mean, there are I sort of got every year I hear about a new fic being adapted into a book and then a movie. And it all started, granted, with 50 Shades of Grey, but the first one I remember that truly shook me was after the Harry Styles fic. When that got picked up, I remember thinking, ain't no fucking way. Because Twilight's fictional. Like it was a fic based on fiction. But having like after picking up, that's when I was like, we're entering a new world order right now. Because what do you mean? A fic based off of a real person, Harry Styles, where he's a piece of shit in that fic too. He's not a good person.
Oh.
And turning into a book and then a movie, like that's insane. But I think that's one of the great things about fandom in general. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many more eyes are being put on like fandom spaces, especially like where people are putting their writings. But I think because Jacob not only respected the source material of the books, he respected the fans who made the books. Like it's literally nothing without the fans because I only heard about these books through TikTok, through people who love the books talking about it. That's it. Like, even though I didn't read it until 2025, but I still knew of them. So I think there's, like Tay was saying, when you don't respect your audience, it comes through. Like you can't hide it. And it's very obvious. And I think too many showrunners get this sort of arrogance. And I've talked with Tress about this, that I think it did start with Pretty Little Liars, because you were telling me how those showrunners would act when fans would figure things out. And I have a vague memory of like Tumblr of some showrunner being pissed off that fans figured something out and changing the whole story. And I think it was Pretty Little Liars. But I think when you have that respect for the fans who loved this content and made this content successful, you in turn will make the next adaptation successful. Like, I don't get why people be trying to come into a house and rob the place and not even leave a fucking thank you note. Like, I will never understand. Like,
What's your problem, actually?
What does Tress say? Don't even wipe your feet on a mat.
Don't even wipe your feet off. Like, show some respect, folks.
right. It makes no sense. But I think it's also just nice, like, as a fan, to know that we're appreciated. I think, again, I'm going to keep comparing them to One Direction because there's so many similarities. But One Direction, I mean, part of their whole like marketing was that they never spoke down on their fans because they had a large female audience, especially a young teenage girl audience, right? And granted, Heated Rivalry, while they do have young fans, they shouldn't. Y'all too young to be watching this shit. But,
Okay.
you know, if they still have a large female audience, and I think it's such a tricky, I don't even want to say tricky because it's not, but it's very easy to dismiss women's excitement for something as, oh, they're just crazy fans. They're just crazy women. They're just obsessed. They just think we're hot. Like, and dismissing what we feel about something as something trivial, when in turn, I see dozens of women writing fucking essays, doing whole 30-minute videos over the significance of ginger ale in a video. You know what I mean? So there not only are this large female audience who made the book successful, but it's also this large female audience who made the show successful and are making these actors and this director and this team successful. So it's genuinely nice to be respected as a fan. And it's something that's very rare, I think, to be respected as a fan. It's kind of dismissed unless you're in a fan base that's largely straight men, and we know in general men don't be reading, so that can't be no book adaptations. They don't read. Like, yeah, that's one of the arguments. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a hot take. I'm sorry to go on for a second, but one of the things that used to piss me off is that I would see specifically gay men who had never read the books on TikTok. And they would be saying, "Oh, it's a bunch of straight women just fetishizing this story, da 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 da. Like y'all just want to see men have sex and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, do you not understand the show would have never been made if it wasn't for the women who read the books? Y'all don't read. Statistically,
Y'all
the
didn't make this
stats
happen.
prove it. Like you never heard of these books. So, and when it's so I could go on a whole rant for that, but yeah.
I did see a lot of those too, and it's quite irritating. And also it just irritates me a lot of times when it's something or an interest of women. It kind of always just gets knocked to the wayside or like treated as it's something that's not important or not worth spending time on, right? And to see those videos and y'all talking about some, oh, y'all just doing this and doing that, babes, it wouldn't have happened without us reading the books. What are you talking about?
A woman wrote the fucking
A
book.
woman wrote the fucking books.
A woman wrote it. Jacob Tierney wouldn't have had shit to work on if she wouldn't have wrote these books with the help of her bisexual husband.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't know. Granted,
Her husband.
it's a very small percentage of gay men that I've seen who take this frame of argument, but it's still like incredibly irritating. For the most part, though, I have seen just a lot of gay men just being like, I'm sorry, I don't feel threatened if a woman is fetishizing me. They can't really do shit. It's so funny because I'm like, that's an interesting take. But okay.
Right.
Like, okay. Sure.
Okay.
Choice.
I do want to go back to the episode though, because we got to talk about this bar scene. Hey.
We got a lot,
We got to talk about this.
We got a lot to get through.
We got to start the bar scene because if wait, what'd you say, Alex?
I canceled my plans, so I'm I did.
Don't say that because we're gonna be on here all night, like
All night.
But if a man don't look at me how Ilya was looking at Shane at the scene, give him back. I don't want him. What are we talking about? Oh, I don't see how anybody else in that bar did not see that was going on. How did y'all not clock it? The way that they were looking at each other up and down, y'all wanted each other bad. Y'all wanted to touch so bad.
Ilya, so like just asking, oh, did you come with anyone? Or are you doing anything? Oh, are you here by yourself? Like, I'm like, just ask the question you want to ask.
Right.
Like, that shit had me cracking There are so many things that like where I relate to either Shane or mostly I relate to Shane, but like certain times Ilya's asked, it just reminds me of like when you're texting a guy, like, so who's all there? Like who's there? Like, oh, it's just me and the boys. Oh, just who are the boys? Like who
Who?
Give me
who?
names.
And whose ponytail holder is that?
No, literally trying so hard to be nonchalant. Who
Eyelash in the corner over there.
Right. It looked like I see a nail holding one of those cups in the background. Who's that? Like that scene was so funny. Oh God, I love them.
You know how
One of the
when people write in like fan fiction and books and stuff, and they write expressions like he looked down at X's lips.
Yeah.
I saw it. I
Oh, we
noticed it.
saw
I
it.
saw
Yeah.
it unfold on my because like I talked about this a long time ago. Like when I read stuff like that, I have to pause and do it myself because I'm like, I need to know like what does this expression look like, you know? But I saw it. I saw the times that they like were locked in on each other. Like I was like, this is what I need from a book adaptation. I need to be able to see these micro expressions and how they add to the scenes.
Yeah.
And one thing about their micro expressions, a lot of the little things that they do in that scene tell a lot of the story, actually. Him asking the questions, them looking at each other's mouths, looking them up and down, but also Shane getting up on the side that's closest to Ilya instead of going around. And then also Ilya does things with like his hands. It's and it seems like it's in an attempt to not touch Shane.
Mhm.
Before when Shane walks up and he says okay and drains the rest of the damn beer to prepare. Like there was so much going on in that scene from like that total story. Like they did that scene so well. And let's not even talk about the shots, the cinematography.
So
Beautiful.
good. They had a green
I
screen and
wonder what
like
it's like. What is it like to consume TV in a normal way?
You know, because I can't
I
tell
never
you.
have.
'Cause I don't
I can't
know.
tell you.
I knew it wasn't going to be normal within the first 13 minutes of episode 1. I was like, all right, let me mentally prepare myself for this shit because it's not going away.
Let me
Like
lock in.
episode 5 was such a masterclass in storytelling. Like Tay, you've already mentioned like how much shit they had to cover. Because I think Tress, what point were they at the end of episode 4? Do you
Like
know?
the
Like it was
End
50%?
of episode 4, we were like 51% of the book.
Yeah.
So we still had like half the book left
Yeah.
for 5.
And only 2 episodes to cover. In episode 5, like I think the pacing for the show was so well done and it made so much sense. I never once, other than Scott and Kip in episode 6, or sorry, episode 5, other than that, like I never once felt like we were missing anything of their relationship. It never felt like, oh, well, when did they reconcile? When did they have this conversation? When did they do this? It never once felt like that. And that is such a skill because there's shows that have 20 episodes in the season and can't do that. Like, and still have me thinking as an audience member, so when the fuck, when did he talk to his son about his wife's doppelganger? You know, like there's certain things where I'm just like, you just left that out and just have the audience assuming that it was talked about. Whereas Jacob was able to tell the full story.
Sorry. I was like, wait, what part of the episode was that?
The way she just slid that shit in her mouth.
I was like, Alex, what show is you talking about, sis?
Oh,
Wow.
It's just,
I'm getting hot.
and the thing is, it's, you know what, I will say we have to stop comparing the show to 911, but it's not even a matter of comparing because they're 2 completely different shows. But it's just, I think because 911 went to shit so drastically, like it was such a
Yeah.
sharp decline, and not just because of Bobby, like storytelling, everything went downhill. Once, like even before Bobby, but really once Bobby, it just catapulted, and it's just, but not even just 911. I mean, you have so many other shows out there that don't know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
They try to condense it all. I mean, look at how people are reacting to Stranger Things. I don't watch the show, but I've seen so many tweets where people are like, well, what happened here? Why did he do this? Well, what about this? What about that? to me, when you're telling a story, there should not be 50 fucking thousand questions from the audience over what happened. You didn't tell the fucking story then. You did not tell the story. And I think that's the difference. I think, oh, wait, someone else go. I have to find a Ryan Coogler quote.
I want to say something to the point of telling a story, though, that I think that a lot of people miss that when they're telling the story. The art of telling a story doesn't always mean it has to be in words, does not always mean that you have to do each and every scene. You can tell a story in a lot of different ways with a lot of different elements. And that's what the fuck this show did. That's why it was real television. Like, they were telling stories, the montages, the slight conversations about things that might not have just actually happened on screen, but like alluded to it. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can tell a story to keep it moving and include a lot of things. You don't always have to have like, and I think Jacob also understood that as far as like not using every single scene from the book, but still including everything that happened. Okay, now you can.
Literally, yes, Tay, because I was thinking of, so Ryan Coogler has this quote because he's developing an X-Files reboot, and one of the writers, he shared a quote from one of the writers, and he said, how she sees movies is you're looking at the most important moment in a character's life, and with TV, you're looking at the most important journey in a character's life. And I think that's such a subtle distinction that was just worded perfectly, because it's right, when you're watching a TV show, you're not getting just 2 hours of a snapshot of one moment in a person's life or multiple characters' lives. This is meant to be told out. And that's why, one, I'm happy this show is not a movie, right? And I think having the way Jacob paced the story and what he chose to include from the books, and like you just said, Tay, like, even though everything wasn't included from the books, the whole story was still included. He didn't leave anything out. And because the whole journey is the story, not just the snapshot, not just Scott and Kip's kiss on the ice, not just the first time they hook up, not the all-star game. Like, the whole journey is the story.
Jacob, baby, come get your flowers.
Yeah.
Come get your flowers.
I love you, cousin Jake.
I thought you were about to say, "Come get your baddie chain." I was like, "Yeah, that too."
I get it. I got it custom made, babes.
Right. Come with me to Trader Joe's. I'll get you some flowers real cheap. $3.
Yeah,
Okay.
Immediately after the bar scene was the pool scene, right?
Yes.
Because I was cracking up when he was like, "Give the kids some money." He said, "Yeah, my man got brand deals. Okay,
My man got bread. Okay.
Okay, he got 2 jobs, diamond, fur, you name it. Okay, get a kid some money. Okay, because I know you got it.
Let him hold something."
I was also tripping about him saying shark in the water. I said, get this man out this room.
That scene was so cute. That was one of my favorite scenes in the book, and I feel like Connor just did such a good job. Like, Ilya is so good with kids. I love that scene.
I think there's something really special about Ilya being good with kids too. Like, considering like how he grew up and how young he was when he lost his mother. I think it would have been very easy to write him as a character who's, not really family oriented, just, a bit closed off. Not to say that Shane is like that, but I think because Shane grew up in like a very stable household, like he doesn't have those same the baggage, he doesn't have that same baggage. And Ilya being good with kids, it's just God. But I don't want them to have a kid in the third book. I'm sorry.
I don't either. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't
even think about that.
Yeah.
Don't make that the thing. No.
Because one, I don't want to see surrogacy. I don't. And two, like, if they adopt a kid, cool. But also, I'm sorry, Ilya's gonna have to be the stay-at-home daddy. Shane not staying home for no goddamn.
Cause they be in them fix and they be talking about Shane gonna quit hockey. Shane who?
Right, Shane.
Not
Shane
who?
Not
He's
Shane
not quitting
Hollander.
No, not
Shane,
my Shane.
Shane's not quitting shit. And I think, yeah, he not quitting shit at all. I think that scene with the kids, though, was really cute. Especially like the way Shane looked at him when he was standing over him. He didn't even say anything. He just had that look on his face. So I'm like, this man is down bad. Like, it's almost
down.
Watching them, I have to like close my eyes. Like, you know how like when you're reading something really cute, you have to pause and take a lap? Like, you just have to pause, walk around for a second, do some dishes, turn on the TV, scroll Twitter or something. That's how it is watching them, because some of the shit is so cute. Like, it's not because it's sexy, it's not because it's hot or tense or stressing me out. They're just cute. They're cute. And that, I have to pause. I'm like, this is too much. I need to get my heart a break. It's too cute.
Too cute. I
Two
love
of my favorite things from this episode, which I'm pretty sure we've all talked about at some point, is the intimacy and communication. Because I don't think there was any sex in this episode, right?
Not at all.
They barely
They
even,
didn't show it, but they
yeah.
did have sex.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what it shown, yeah.
Yeah, I love how those two seem to be the focus of this episode, like the intimacy of their relationship, but also the communication. Because, like, right after that, I think was the hotel scene. Shane says the words, "I'm gay." Like, they have their whole little situation. I loved the kind of back and forth in their communication because in episode 4, Ilya is opening up, right? He's laying the cards on the table and Shane's retreating. And then in episode 5, Shane is opening up and Ilya is trying to backpedal and retreat, right? Like, I love how they go back and forth, and then all of those things add up to what we will get to at some point, the finale. But yes, love the intimacy and the back and forth with communication in this episode. And that hotel scene, yeah,
changed my
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Changed my
it
life.
it's really hard seeing one of your close personal friends cry. It's such a hard experience, and like not being able to comfort them. I'm glad he had my other close personal friend Shane,
Right.
but it was really sad. It was really sad seeing him cry
Right.
like that.
My baby cry like that broke my heart. But seeing Shane baby just like crawl into Ilya's lap like that and him just I've never been the same since that day. I actually have not. It changed my life. I'm not joking, y'all.
It really did. And I think talking about the intimacy, Tim, like, in a video I just posted on YouTube, I talk about how heated rivalry is not enemies to lovers. It should be framed as like fear to intimacy, because the intimacy is the thing they're chasing, right? There's no problem with them being together physically. Like, I think with a lot of like romance where there's a sexual awakening trope, them being together physically is a huge hurdle that has to be crossed a lot of the time. That's not a hurdle here. They got to get in real quick, real quick in the story. It didn't take no time. But the intimacy, that took work. That took years for them to get through. And I think having, like, when you think of how intimacy, when you like focus on the fact that intimacy was the goal, really, that they wanted to be intimate and vulnerable and trust each other in a way they haven't trusted anyone else. And really, for just to wrap it all up in one word, love each other, because they are each other's first love and only loves. And I think episode 5 really showed that the communication wasn't just, I'm just going to take what you say at face value. I'm going to try to understand you. I am determined to understand you, and I'm going to understand you. Because when you think of like episode 2, when after they slept together in Vegas and Ilya was like, I have to go back to Russia, and Shane was like, oh, is it nice there, or something like that. Like, Shane was so obviously like grasping at straws to keep that communication flowing. And then you have episode 4 where, like you said, Tim, Ilya was the one who was being vulnerable and Shane, ran away. Episode 5 is like, cut the bullshit. Like, we're not, Shane was determined. He even said, stop acting like this. Like, it was different that last time. And I think that, oh God, it was so good. Just when they say romance is dead, I'm telling you, the shit I feel for this show, I feel like I'm fucking feral sometimes. I can't contain, I'm containing it now, but literally I'm just, oh, that's not a wall. You can't see the wall, but I'm like just clawing at the wall. Just like, the way the story is told and the way this love story is told is so romantic, but also so incredibly real. I think, especially for like this day and age, seeing going from that situationship to romance. Now, granted, this is not a sign you should stay with that situationship. Leave that man.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Leave,
Okay,
leave
don't
that
say you heard it here.
No.
This ain't that kind of show. Don't say you heard it here, okay?
It's not, because absolutely leave that man alone. Do not stay in no goddamn situationship. But in this case, this one specific case, you can see that they did the work to understand each other, and you really see it in episode 6. The way they, God, oh,
Episode 6.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We got
Are
a lot.
we?
We got a lot. We got a lot more to go with episode
Are we
5.
ever
We'll
gonna
get
get
there.
there?
I'm like chomping at the bit for episode
Yes.
6. I'm like,
I got something to
We'll
say.
get there.
I have to say one more thing about because y'all know that hotel conversation just about took me out. Just
Yeah.
about took me out. Like the scene when I think when Shane is telling Ilya, I'm gay. And of course, at face value, that's funny as fuck. Like, well, yes, you've been getting fucked by this man for years. Yes, you're gay. But I think I love the fact that they made the distinction that Shane's like, you're not gay. And Ilya's like, no, not completely. And Shane's like, I'm completely gay. I think the distinction between, even though they don't say bisexual, it's heavily implied. Like, you know exactly what they're talking about. And I think having that distinction made really just shows like part of the struggle that Shane is dealing with. And you see that struggle during the conversation with Ilya, or not the conversation, the Russian monologue he gives, where Shane, his struggle is kind of like mourning that life that he will never be happy with a woman. He won't have that stereotypical life he thought he wanted. So he's kind of, I don't want to like mourning, but not in a negative way, just coming to terms with the fact that that's not the life he wants anymore. Whereas Ilya, we see in that monologue, he's coming to the terms with, even though I could technically marry a woman because I am attracted to women, I don't love them.
stop. I can't do it. Don't play.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I was just about to say, I hate to drag it further. I do want to connect that to something in episode 6 too.
Connect it, girl.
That's my point about the conversation on the couch where they're playing footsies. That Shane is
disgusting.
toes. Okay, locked in.
Fucking insane.
Insane.
Get your
But
toes away from me. Yeah.
I think that when Shane was also suggesting that Ilya marry a woman, like he could marry a woman and actually love her to get the green card, that it was also a bittersweet moment for him because he's thinking of, this is a life, this is a possibility for Ilya, a possibility that I do not have for myself.
Yeah.
And if that's something that Ilya actually chose, then he would be on the sidelines having to watch him marry a woman, love a woman.
Yeah.
And that's not a life that he could have or a life that he could live.
Yeah.
I need tissues for the rest of this podcast.
It's so devastating the way I mean, one, when you remember how young they are when they first met and when they started this whole, they were what, 18, when they started this whole situation, relationship, and it's literally just been them from the beginning. Like, it's just been each other. That's it. Like, there's no one else in the books that Ilya or Shane were with that come even close. Like, they tried to date that they actually had feelings for it. Never once. And yeah, Shane had Rose, but we all know that wasn't the same. Ilya and Svetlana, we know he doesn't feel anything close to what he feels. Like, it was literally just each other for them. That's it. And I think episode 5 really highlights that. And also, I love the fact that Shane crawled into Ilya's lab and was like trying to comfort him, because the last time he crawled into his lab, he ran away and he made it sexual. Which, to be fair, in episode 4, I didn't think it was going to go that way. When they started cuddling, I was like, oh. And then Shane immediately started
got freaked out.
Immediately.
It was the tuna.
Yeah.
Aphrodisiac, I guess, because he wanted to. I was like, wait.
Calling tuna an aphrodisiac is insane.
That tuna and that ginger ale, Shane got active. I was like, whoa.
Immediately, though. Somebody made the comment about it, him dropping into subspace immediately when he put his head on Ilya's chest. And I said,
yes. No, it was very mega coded. Like,
yes.
Very, like, I don't think I've ever seen something on television before and thought to myself, this looks like it came off of a very specific tag on AO3.
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
So we leave the hotel, and sadly, Papa Rosenoff, rest in peace. He's done.
It's
He's done.
actually right.
Done.
Worm food.
And he's now looking up at us.
Exactly. He's looking up at us. It was a moment. And I feel like that whole situation led us to one of the best scenes in all of episode 5, the conversation. And actually, before we get to the conversation in Russian, I made a video about this, and I don't know if we're all in this situation, but I feel like my close personal friend Jacob Tierney, he put that little scene in there about put your glasses back on. He did that for us. He did that for glasses wearers, and
It
I
did.
absolutely love that. He said, I can't hear anything you're saying actually until you put those glasses back on.
Put them glasses back on.
And I really like that. I really like that he threw that. We went back and forth about that, me and Jay Money at the last barbecue, and I didn't know if he was gonna throw it in there or not, but I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he did. We talked ad nauseum
Talking
about
it over
that.
a plate of ribs.
Yeah. I'm glad that he threw that in there. Yes, but so sad about
Shit.
Papa Rosenoff. You will be
Are
missed.
you?
You will be missed by
He said,
somebody.
I'm so sad about Papa Rosenoff.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be missed by somebody.
I'm
And
They say, not me.
somebody. But yes, I love the scenes that sort of branched off from that one. I think it was Shane was like I want to help you if I can.
Yeah.
Which should have been a really really sweet scene, but Ilya definitely turned that into, how you can help me? Take those fucking drawers off.
Like, damn. Okay.
And honestly, when I saw that scene, which it is probably a criminal offense to compare these two in any reality.
What are you about to
But
say?
when I saw that scene, it reminded me of Tyler Perry, because he loves to kill somebody mama in his work. And there was, I can't remember exactly what movie it was. It was one of the newer ones, and their daddy had died, and the brother was cheating with the other brother's girlfriend, and he went to her room trying to sleep with her, and she was like, "Oh no!" He was like, "My daddy just died." That's the vibe that I got from that. Like, he was like, "Oh, my daddy just died." He just died, and I just really want to find comfort with what's going on in your pants. That's what's really going to help me right now.
My daddy died. Drop them draws right now.
But yes, that conversation in Russian. Before we get into it, I love that there are Black people in this fandom, because one of the funniest, we probably have all seen it. One of the funniest fucking videos that I saw about this conversation was Shane better than me, because I would have had Google Translate up to the phone while he was.
I saw that.
He was having that conversation. Yeah,
I didn't know everything he said. What are you talking about?
yeah.
I would have hit that record call button so quick.
But yeah,
you're in Svetlana. I would have been like, "What the fuck?" You
exactly. Because what are we talking about?
What you saying the girl name before?
I was like, Google Translate, just holding my phone up. Yeah.
But it was so, so, so good. I'm so in love with you, and I don't know what to, and I don't know what to do about it.
That was beautiful.
I was
the way that Connor just embodies that character. Embodies that character. And just, as we were saying, this show was filmed in about 25 minutes with 3 dimes. Okay.
Exactly.
So him learning Russian like that and just embodying the feeling that this man would have felt. Your daddy is dead. Your mama is dead. Your brother is the scum of the earth. You have no family. You will never return to this country after this. Because that was when he was like, you know what, Alexi, take my apartment. I'm done with you. So now he has no family, no home, and he's in love with this man that he can't be with. And the way that you just feel all of that from that conversation. Like, Connor's story, baby, come get your baddies
Mhm.
chain, your flowers, your everything. We love you. Like, that was real acting.
And we coming back. We coming back to that because Alex loved to see a man get beat up. So we're gonna come back to that little incident with with Alexi.
With
Hell
Miranda.
no. I just like to see Ilya throw hands because actually he deserved that ass whooping. What the fuck?
That's honestly one of the few reasons why I think they should make some of the other books into seasons, because he be fighting in the other books. So I'm
He
like,
do. Oh, I need that.
yeah. I want
I
to see.
need
I want to see him fight. Spoiler alert: if you have not read the long game, I want to see him fight in defense of Shane after Shane joins the not the commanders, what them things called?
centaurs.
Centaurs. I want to see them. I want
After
to
he
see them
joins the
fight
Washington
one.
Commanders football team.
Like, I just want to see him fight. Like that whole scene though, when he was in Russia, it was such a good scene. And Tress, you're so right. Like Connor, I the show really would not have been as good without Connor and Hudson and the entire cast, like Connor, Hudson, Nadine, um,
Ksenia.
yeah,
Ksenia,
Ksenia, I can't think of everyone else's name. Francois,
Robbie.
Kip, everyone. The show would not have been what it was if it wasn't for this cast. Like Connor and Hudson, I just really hope one of the things Hollywood takes away is that there's so much talent out there. There's so much talent. And the fact that these two, one, look like regular people, like you said, Tress, like they weren't Botox, weren't all of that. You can actually see the emotion on Connor's face because he's not filled with Botox. He can actually move his eyebrows, you know? So I think that makes a difference. But you could really feel that hurt. Like, I think Trusty said it perfectly. Like you could feel everything. And that's no different from any other scene in the show, but I think this was such a pivotal moment that everyone who read the books was looking forward to. And it was so good.
We also have to go to the way in which the women in their lives were clocking them at every turn because Svetlana did in fact say, I hope he knows how lucky he is. I hope Jane knows how lucky he is.
And clock that, sister.
And somebody asked somebody on I don't know what social media site it was, one of them, but they asked the Russian speaker, was that a slip up with like the closed captions or anything, or what is that exactly what she said? And I was like, no, that's what she said. And I said, and I know that's fucking right because like I don't know. I definitely think that like I don't know. I think she thought it was Shane for sure.
Mm.
I need them. I need that to be real in season 2. Whenever we get Svetlana, I need her to confirm, in fact, that like, yeah, I did know it was Shane because he clammed up every fucking time that like Shane came into the conversation between them. She knew.
Because was it episode 5 when they were in the car on the way to the club and he was texting Shane and
Yeah,
she made a little comment about it? Like was that episode 5 or episode 4?
That was episode 5, right?
I, I don't know. They run
That's
together.
one
I
of
don't
them.
know.
Right.
I think the one where they're watching a game or something and he's talking about being before the All-Star game. That's episode 5 where he's talking about being him and Shane are both centers and she says something about Ilya knowing how to be right wing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And in that she said something about Shane being like attractive or like in a good player or whatever. And Ilya's fucking response to that gave him away real bad. Like, you know that man is fine. You know that man is fine. What are we talking about?
Right.
You know that. So I definitely think that I agree with the fans that think that she knew that it was Shane. I do too, but I think she ate his ass up with that one line. I hope Jane knows how lucky
How
he is.
lucky he is. I
And
said clock that.
I think Svetlana, just like Rose, I think just another example of just not having. I feel like it's easy to make a character an ally, but writing a character who's a good person
Yep.
is just a bit more difficult because you have to show that they have kindness and compassion, like that's how they move forward in life, right? And I think being an ally is one thing. You just have to almost show, I have no problem that you're gay. I have no problem that you're bisexual, that you're in love with a man. I don't care about those things. Do you? I love that for you. But I think especially coming from Svetlana, because they changed it to where they were childhood friends, it just means even more to Ilya, because that is one of the things where it's like one of the few people who truly knows him. Like, it's really just Svetlana. And you could kind of say that guy Sasha, but he doesn't really know Ilya. That was just he just knows Ilya's secret, right? And I think Svetlana clocking that and the way she handled it, just like Rose, I think they both handled those acknowledgments the way Shane and Ilya needed. Because Ilya would not respond to Rose the same way Shane would have. Ilya would have been like, "What are you talking about?" Like, it would have been very defensive. It would have been like, "No, I'm Russian. We don't do this." Like, it would have been very different vibes. But Shane needed that kind of conversation. He needed the direct approach, and a direct approach with kindness. Whereas Svetlana, I think she knew that Ilya just needed he just needed someone to know and know that it's okay.
Yeah,
Like,
to know that they would still be in his corner too.
exactly.
I think that's the common thread between all of them. Nadine, Ksenia, and Sophie. That's her name, right? Like all the girls, Rose, Elena, and Svetlana, like they are exactly what their guy needs in their life,
Yes.
you know? And they fill that role very well. And I feel like Alex said a long time ago, like for a show like this, for a project like this, it would have been really easy to villainize any one of them, right? It would have been so easy to put either one of them in a situation where the audience is against them because you want this other couple to be together. And I love that they weren't written in that way.
Oh, this show is just so fucking good. Okay.
Okay,
God.
we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. So we rest in peace, Papa Rosenoff. Now we're at the game, and things are going well. You know, they have their little moment on the ice, and then all of a sudden we switch over to Grey's Anatomy, and it is just straight emergency. I I love the way that was filmed, by the way. The way that he was like attacked on the ice, hurt on the ice, I thought that was filmed beautifully. It was like I felt like Alex, low key. I was like, oh, I, lo- I was like, oh, I was like, wow, that took him out. Yeah, poor Shane. And I saw specifically related to this incident, and then of course we will get to the last 2 points of this episode: the hospital, the ice kiss, and then we will be at our destination, the cottage. But I saw people talking about this scene and specifically how it was different from the book. Just a little
Yeah.
bit. Like some of the words were different. He, I think, added in the he's gonna worry or something like that. And but people really wanted the oh they can see
They can
us.
see it.
Yeah. And I remember thinking like I don't feel like it lost anything, you know. I'm like as somebody who did read the books as well, like and saw the scene, I was like I feel like the same feeling was created for me on screen as it was when I read it without that they can see us piece.
I was
Yeah.
fine with that they can see us. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it was any different. I think I appreciated the one where he was saying that he's gonna worry, and somebody was like, "Your coach is calling your dad," and he was like, "I'm talking about my man. I'm talking about my dad. I'm
Right.
talking about
He
my
said, "I don't care
man."
about my daddy. My
What?
man worried." Like,
Nobody, no. So I get, and like, there's a couple of changes throughout the story with things, and people were just like, "Oh, I hate that we didn't get this." I don't think I don't think it was needed, right? I
Yeah.
think in the book it served a purpose. Don't think that it really would have served a purpose in the show. I think the way in which Jacob wrote it was fine. I think it was great. I do want to point out though, on the ice before he got his shit rocked, when he before the game started, when he told or told Ilya the code to the front door of the apartment. I thought that was something that was really significant. And I didn't really see a lot of people talking about it, but I think that it was another thing or another point in the intimacy and like acceptance of this episode, of them accepting the fact that no, I want to be with this man. Like it's not. I think for Shane, although he couldn't be out and come out and just yell it to the world, I think it was a small gesture and acceptance for himself. Like, you're not coming through the back door. I'm not hiding this from myself anymore. And yeah, and I ate that shit up. Sorry.
This was one of the
Yeah.
changes I loved because I didn't want to see that scene in the book. I was glad they left it out
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to see him be about to end it. Like I feel like if you didn't read the book, like you didn't know that that's what he was thinking going into that game, but he was about to shut it down. He was about to cut it all off.
It
And I
was.
was like, I I for one didn't want to see that, you know? Like I was glad that they left that part out. So I didn't feel like anything was missed because of the changes that he made. And again, I trust my close personal friend, cousin J Money, J Dog with my life. So
I
Right.
do.
I think I think the way the scene was filmed, us watching that scene from the audience perspective was perfect. I think what are those people called who be like narrating the game?
Commentators.
commentators,
Them. I think they did a great job showcasing like what the general public was thinking. And I also think, small spoiler for the long game, but when Shane looks back at that and says, "How did they not know?" I think that's going to hit even harder
Yeah.
after that scene. Like,
Yeah.
because truly, how did they not know? Like, I think even I've seen TikTok has been feeding me so many videos of hockey players getting their shit rocked on the ice lately. And I built my For You page brick by brick, okay?
listen, and they know.
They don't show me none of the happy moments in hockey, just when someone's getting their shit rocked. And I think it's one of those moments where it's like, yeah, like when knowing how the long game goes, I'm trying to like minimize any spoilers, but knowing how that book, what happens in that book, I think that scene when we have to look back on it is going to hit even harder. You know, like the same kind of how like episode 3, we all knew who read the book that episode 3 was going to be even better once the series finished, and it was. And I think the way that scene was filmed specifically is going to hit even better once we get season 2. I do.
Yeah.
And I just like seeing him hurt. Like I
Oh yeah,
did.
he was tore up. I ain't
I
gonna
did.
lie.
What up?
He was
Yeah.
tore up.
The
Okay.
way he was laying
Bad.
on that ice like Peter Griffin, like like he was down bad. I said, "Oh," but I think I also think I'm trying to like I don't want to include a spoiler for the long game. But
The book's been out for how many years?
Right.
right, okay, so
Like,
in that case, you know how in the long game they ask him, "Did you trip on purpose?"
yes.
I want like it just makes me think because like Shane looked back at Ilya, and that's how the
Mhm.
collision happened because he was focused on Ilya.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, just when you take two and two, and then you get four, and then you get another two, then you get six, and you add it all together, and then you get numbers. It's so good. It's so good. Like there's so many levels to this shit. I love it. Then when they ended up in the hospital,
I'm sorry. Shane in that fucking hospital.
He was tore up. He
Ilya.
was
He was so happy to see that man. Oh my
He
god.
said, "Come here, come
Yeah, with the little
here."
grabby hands.
better.
He
But
said,
But
"Come here, right here."
I felt so bad for Ilya because here's Shane. His man just walked through the door. He's happy that he came to see him. He's doped up. Ilya, on the other hand, I
bad.
found my mom when I was 12. You just got your shit rocked on the ice and you was unresponsive. And like I know that that put him back in oh,
I didn't even
I
see
I
that.
felt yes, him when he first comes inside the hospital door and he closes it and he just stands there and he stutters with what he's saying. In that moment, I feel like because he couldn't have any information about Shane, what was going
Yeah.
on because he's not Ken. So at that moment, he didn't know how bad Shane had been hurt. He just saw that he was unresponsive on the ice, the same way in which he saw his mom
Oh,
unresponsive
Get a
and was told
tissue.
his
I'm about
ass.
to start crying.
Y'all like no.
God.
So when he was sitting there, I can't remember exactly what he said something like I just came to and then stops and there's like, are you okay? In that moment, him Shane talking, I know he felt like a lot of relief, but also still like for the 24 hours or the not 24 hours, like 12 hours between like the game happening and
Yeah.
him coming up there, I feel so bad for the torment that he went through because he actually probably was tortured as hell in that amount of time.
And there was no one he could call to
No
find
one
out.
he could
Like,
call.
he couldn't call Shane. He couldn't call Yuna. Couldn't call his dad. Couldn't call Shane. Shane couldn't text him. Like
He
he was
called
literally
Hayden.
just
My
in the
Shayla.
dark. He didn't know
Mike.
what the fuck was going on. And in the books, don't they show that? Like, don't they? Doesn't she talk about that? How like he's just waiting to hear? Again, this
I think he said it mentioned something about it. Yeah,
okay, because I could be thinking about a fic. Like, like it
it's
really
getting
does.
blurred.
It blurs
Oh,
together, y'all. But yeah, oh, I didn't even think about the connection to his mother. Yeah,
And then Shane sitting up there trying to apologize for not texting, and then Ilya does the sweet thing of like rubbing his face. No, it's okay. Oh, oh.
That scene is so sweet. And then when Shane baby says, I want you to come to my cottage. And Ilya's like, well,
Won't
he said,
you come to my
Will
cottage?
you
say
come
you
to my
go
cottage
pull
this
up.
summer?
come to my cottage
Say
this
your flight
summer.
is booked because
Don't go to
you
Russia.
don't go to Russia.
I
Come
loved
to
it.
my house.
We
Yeah,
can
this
have
was
so much
like
fun.
the medical equivalent of like, you know how people say like um drunk something, sober thoughts.
Drunk words are
Drunk
sober
words of
thoughts.
sober thought.
Yeah. This felt kind of like that. Like
Yeah.
because the medicine forced your guard down just a little bit, you know? Like it was almost like you have no choice but to be honest here. Which is how I think that Will You Come to My Cottage This Summer came out, you know, because like it's what you wanted, you know, it's what you were thinking, you know, you've thought about it before, and here it is.
That also just makes me even more sad that the fact that Ilya was really finna cut
Dump
that
his
whole shit, nip that shit in the
Right,
bud, and this man was working up to ask you to come to his house.
exactly.
right. I also think like Ilya's reaction, because he goes from saying, no, I can't. Like he goes from saying no, no, no to maybe.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is he recognizes that Shane is high as a kite. Like he's not saying like it's not connecting to just say no. So he's just like, okay, maybe. But I also think a part of him is like kind of realizing okay, like maybe he in his head he's still thinking no because again in his mind he even though Shane got injured it was still in his mind that he wanted to dump him because that his thought process on that doesn't change until what's his name Scott and Kip
Mhm.
kiss. So he was still thinking that and I think part of it was just almost like to placate Shane like okay like you're getting loud Pookie shut up a little bit we in public a little bit but I think I just love the way that whole scene played out. And Tim, you're right. I'm happy they didn't include that Ilya was planning on breaking up with Shane. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that was left out.
You know we didn't need that.
We didn't.
We didn't need it.
I told Jake not to do it actually. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? When
And
we was
thank you
going
for
back in
that.
the house for the mac and cheese,
Exactly.
I said,
Yeah.
cut that baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he was on plate number 2 at the barbecue, but I was like, hey,
Right.
I don't think we should do this. No, this don't sound,
Right.
this don't feel
Don't
right.
do it.
Like,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
speaking of Jake and like the intentionality that he puts into this story, this was another one, a little thing that somebody else picked up that I did not notice. The heart monitor. Was that intentional?
Oh, it's stopping on like what's the name's number?
81? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
think it's
know.
intentional. I didn't notice it at first, but when someone pointed it out, I definitely think it was intentional. Absolutely.
Everything Jake does is intentional.
Right, everything in this show is intentional. You can't convince me
Or
otherwise.
Or Hudson is such a good actor. He knew exactly where to set the mark.
Exactly. I like that one. I like that one.
It was a combination of the two.
Right. Perhaps Hudson knew that was his method acting. He was like, I'm gonna slow my heart rate down.
To 81.
Him and Jake had a conversation. He said, so Hudson, baby, what you gonna do is you gonna get into a flow state. You gonna slow your heart rate down to 81. And Hudson was like, yeah, Jake, I got it,
Right.
Jake.
That's exactly what it was. I think that was all Hudson. I think Hudson knew how to slow his heart rate down.
I can get behind it.
Yeah.
And we are we're one scene away. We're almost there. We're
let's talk about
literally
this kiss.
about to pull into the driveway of the cottage.
Yes, let's talk about this kiss.
The kiss
The
of all
final
time.
step, the spark that ignited the entire cottage thing. My kings, Scott and Kip.
Tim's
Loved it down.
OTP skip.
Skipaholic. Okay, I love them down. Oh, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. I love them down. Um, this was like the perfect explanation for why we had episode 3, I think. I was like, this was necessary. This was needed, right? Like, this is why we got as much Skip as we did. Now, granted, I don't think we needed 80% of the book in that one episode, but this is why their story was included in Heated Rivalry, even though they are the first book, because this specific scene was integral to getting us to the finale. I I just love Scott and Kip. I just love them so much.
Love him.
I'm a skipaholic. I just love them down. And I just feel like the scene itself was great. The way that it was shot to me was phenomenal. The going back and forth, seeing the different ways that both Shane and Ilya are experiencing this, like Shane is like seeing it in a, oh, what is happening? Like Ilya is, like they're both experiencing this same thing, but experiencing it in two different ways. I absolutely love the videos that people make about that scene. There was one that I saw where the girl was like, she was like, "Oh, I'm sitting next to Kip," and Scott saying, "Come down," and she's like, "Oh, me," and he's like, no, him."
I'm
But
not
yeah,
talking to you.
I just love them. I love them so much. And again, this is why they were included. Because if it was not for them, if it was not for this moment in time, we wouldn't have gotten the finale that we did.
No, I just love how that we all knew what was happening, but we all were still like on the edge of our seats, counting down
Yes.
to the kids. Yeah, they did that one.
Yeah.
We were all ready for it, and like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? As if we did not read the book.
I think
Exactly.
we
We
didn't
knew.
already know, but the way that scene is filmed, like it just truly, like the anticipation is just building, and just the look on Kip's face when he realizes that Scott's calling to him, and then they're on the ice, and then
Mm.
he just, what does he say? I love you so fucking much. Oh, that was so good. I love you, Francois. I love
The
you.
alignment of the music reminded me of the club scene with all the things she said, and then the sunshine and fuck,
I,
Jacob.
I think I'm happy that the scene took as long as it did too. Like a lot of people are like, why did it take him 10 fucking minutes to get down the stairs? I'm like, I love the
Was he supposed to
He was,
teleport and just go boom on the ice?
like
he was moving slow as fuck.
so many people were like, the scene was so drawn out. And I'm like, I actually love that it was. Like, I love that they did not rush seeing Scott look at everyone else with their loved ones on the ice. He didn't have anyone. I mean, his parents are dead. He's an only child. Like he didn't have anyone, but he had someone he loved in the stands. And I love that you see the realization cross his face where he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I want my man down here with me. And you see him go through like all the stages. You see him point to Kip. You like, come on down. And Kip's like, me? You see all of the thoughts go through everyone's head and the hesitation and the are you sure you want to do this? Like, and the Kip still giving Scott, you can get out of this if you want. You don't have to do this. I love the fact that the scene, because I think it was like maybe 2.5 minutes total, but I love the fact that it took that long. I loved it. I think it built the anticipation perfectly, especially the way it was filmed, going from like on the ice to Ilya watching to Shane watching to the announcers commenting on it. Like it was just constantly back and forth. I love the way that scene was filmed.
Oh, it was so good. And then just like the immediate response from the boys, like Ilya saw it. He said, "Let me text my man, baby. I'm coming
Right
to the
now.
cottage. I'll
Right
see you
now.
there, Bookie.
Right
Yeah.
now. I'm on
Send
the
me
way,
that
actually.
address
Yeah.
right now. Flight getting booked." Like,
Yeah.
Sharon was texting, and Ilya was like, "Nah, baby, I'm finna call." Hey,
call,
what?
Right.
call
I
my
need to talk
man.
right now.
Like, oh, that
Ah,
scene's so good. It was so like that was a scene where you had like no choice but to like scream when you watched it. Like it
Even
even
if you knew it was
rewatching
coming.
it, I'm just like it's so good. It's so
Beautiful.
good.
I love Skip.
Like, oh God, it was and I also think seeing them kiss on the ice like that, and then also seeing what's it called? And then seeing the immediate reaction it has for Ilya and then in turn Shane. I think it just really, and then especially because we have all the context from episode 3, it just really shows one a difference between the couples. Like these are like night and day in terms of how these couples operate and function with each other, how they are as a couple. But I think I'm so happy we got episode 3 because episode 5, that scene would not have hit as hard without episode 3. Not at all. I don't care what anyone says. Some people are like, oh, they could have just given us, a few minutes in each episode. No.
It had to be that way, especially for folks that like didn't read the books, because you would have just been like, who is these men? And why do we care about them?
Right.
The only thing I wish we would have gotten is how did we get here? Because we saw it was done. He was looking on at the party or something like that, and they were over. So I was just like, how did we get from there? I don't care. Okay,
don't matter.
Let's make that clear. I don't care how we got there.
Right.
I'm glad we got there. But I was curious, like, how did we get here after how we left off in episode 3?
Because you broke up with me. Why am I in the stands?
Right. Why are you even at the game? What you even doing here?
Wasn't it like a 3-year time skip though?
I think so.
Like it was a long time between when they broke up.
3 years, I think.
Yeah. So what happened?
We need some explanation.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not reading that book. I'm sorry.
And maybe they'll tell us in season 2.
Yeah.
Tell Jay get the barbecue this summer. Like, make sure you explain that to us.
I'm sorry. I have no interest in reading.
Okay.
Maybe just like a little, because well, I don't want to spoil the long game, but there is a scene where there's several scenes that include Scott and Kip and Ilya. So maybe when they in that little bar scene, he can be like, and we were apart for a little bit, and now we back together. Just something.
Yeah, maybe get a little flashback or something in season 2.
Not a whole episode or nothing.
I will say we don't need a whole episode in season 2. Not at all. Because the show is called Heated Rivalry. The show's not called Game Changers. It's not called the Game Changer series. Like this is Heated Rivalry. Like as I love Scott and Kip, we absolutely needed episode 3. We need their moment in episode 5 and Scott's speech in episode 6.
Yes.
That's it though. We don't need no other full episode. If they have to introduce another couple, I'm trying to see what's his name? Travis?
Troy and Harris.
What Travis?
Troy and Harris. She wanted him to be Travis so bad.
I'm sick.
Y'all know I be getting that man's name wrong, but I want Travis and Harris. That's the only couple I want introduced. Like, that's it. I don't want to see nobody else. Like, unless we just get Scott and Kip in the background somewhere, episode or 2. Which also, side note, the actor who plays Kip is straight, and nobody seems to give a fuck. But
no, but y'all, we're real worried about a particular other cast member being straight, but don't nobody say nothing about him.
Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, but okay.
Any other thoughts? Time for episode 6. I was say, any other thoughts about episode 5? We are in the driveway. If you look, our close personal friends Shane and Ilya are holding the door of the cottage open for us. So, any remaining thoughts before we dive off into the finale?
Let's get to the cottage.
Listen, because I left my family early for this. Right. Okay, if y'all see this, I know I said I had work to do. This was,
This was the work.
This was the work. Starting the finale, the cottage, with Scott Hunter's MVP speech, I loved it. And I did see a lot of people saying like, oh, it should have been shorter. Why did they include that? Again, I just want to remind you, there would be no cottage without Skip. And maybe that's me because I'm a Skipaholic, maybe I'm biased, but there would be no cottage without Skip. I absolutely loved the speech. I was wondering why Kip wasn't there, why he was watching from the bar, but I think it was budgetary. They probably couldn't afford it.
That's what I heard.
Couldn't afford to have they had 3 pennies and a nickel, and they rubbed them together and made art, and that's okay.
They filmed that scene actually during episode 3.
Exactly, exactly, and that's okay, But we are coming to the cottage. We're here, really. We're here, really.
Ginger ale, y'all ready?
Right.
We're here, really.
I do have a little ginger ale mixed in my drink.
Me too.
Yeah.
We are here, and I don't even. Somebody else start because I don't know where to start.
I was gonna say about Scott's speech. I think a lot of people are focused on the Hollanov of it all, the Shane and the Ilya of it all, even people who like Kip and Scott as a couple, right? But I feel like people are forgetting a huge reason why these books even work is because the NHL is so homophobic. And Scott's speech was one, I think, really the only time they directly talk about how homophobic the NHL is and what that does to people in the NHL, to the players. And I think that speech was honestly very important. I think having that speech, I think it would have been almost uh a disservice and almost like I can't think of the right word to not include it in because we need to talk because part of the problem, the villain of the show is the NHL. That's the villain. The fact that they can't be out and open. It's the NHL's fault. That's it. So I think it would have been crazy if they wouldn't have included that speech. I loved it.
I
Same.
loved it too, and I agree. And I think also too, like Hudson's talked a lot about different closeted athletes across professional sports reaching
Mhm.
out to him and saying thank you and things. And I feel like that speech was in a way kind of for them because although this is a fictional story, there are real athletes right now who are terrified to come out. And so this kind of gave them the opportunity to maybe see what that could look like for them if this is ever an option and to just give them hope. And I think that that's really, really important. Like, yes, this is a fictional story, and yes, Heated Rivalry is about the Heated Rivalry book. But like you said, none of this is possible without Game Changers, the first book, and that's about Scott and Kip. So I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was long enough.
Yeah.
It's perfect length, and I love Scott Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also feel like, people want to talk about representation and it mattering until it don't fit whatever narrative that they wanted to. The speech was needed.
And what?
The speech was needed. The representation was needed, whether you don't like them or not, whether you felt like it was too long. It was in fact needed. And it was a beautiful speech. Like, what are we talking about? Would I have rather Kip heard it from the audience? Yeah.
Right.
Whatever y'all got three pennies to rub together and y'all rub them
Exactly.
bitches real hard, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all did what y'all had to do. Give you that, but like I do think it was definitely needed. Like I never thought that it was too long. I never thought that like, oh my God, why is he on my screen? And I actually watched it with my mom, and my mom was like, okay, that was a nice speech. And I was like, right? It
It was. It was a really good speech.
was a
And
great
I
speech.
love that he called. I wonder how much time had passed between the kiss on the ice and the speech.
I think because that's his MVP speech, and it's typically that's the summer. Is it? I think like the awards are like July, so maybe like a month or two, maybe.
Yeah, because the game would have been June, and the ceremony probably would have been either late June or late July.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sports. Yeah.
Same. But yeah, love the speech. I think I said in the video, I love that he named Kip in the speech. He didn't say something like somebody special in my life or, this person. Like, I love that he called him out by name and just seeing the how far they've come, right? From episode 3 to, even like the little nuances in episode 3, like he can't even go look at art because he's so damn terrified and on the DL to now, kissing him on the ice and naming this person in front of all these people, like in the speech. Like, I loved it. I love, even though like we really only got like an episode and a third in total of them. Like, I love what Jacob was able to do with that relationship in the time that he had and those three nickels. He really made it stretch, and I like
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to the cottage.
it.
Airport. Let's
All
go to the
right. Yes.
airport.
Time to skip on to the cottage. Yeah.
Right.
First of all,
Yeah.
them disguises was terrible. Let's start
Yeah.
there.
But he looked good as fuck.
And
In that,
He
in that
oh,
cut off, the black cut off little top he had. Yeah, I said, oh, that's actually, I think not the first time. Not the first time. I was about to say, is liar told you that. It's one of two times I've actually been attracted to Ilya on the show.
and the other one's when he said fuck.
Yup, you know, yup, yup. Those two scenes got me. Yeah, the way he said "fuck" will actually go down in history. I wish I could get that on audio and just play it in my headphones.
Can we talk about how telling your parents you're going to a silent retreat is absolutely fucking insane?
Because why would you say that?
Can we just acknowledge that that is fucking insanity? That you're
He
going
could have
on a
said
silent.
Rose was
You could have
sliding
said
through.
anything.
He could have said
Anything.
Hayden and them children was sliding through. Like, you did not have to say, "Oh, I'm meditating, doing yoga." I'm sure you know was like, "You doing what?"
Like,
Just say you grown and don't want company.
And
Like,
Ilya was right when he said it would have been funny if it was anybody else but your ass.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He said, "Is this a Jeep?"
and I know
No.
she was panicking over something to tell his parents. He was like, "What do I tell them?
Yes.
What do I tell? Like, what? A silent retreat? That's it. Like, what? Why would you think a silent? What? Yeah,
Could have said anything.
right. I guess it worked for the most part up until what's his
Up
name?
until it didn't.
Parker.
and that's so crazy to me. Yuna ain't had no phone. She ain't had no charge.
She didn't get no charger.
He said all the other charges in the house were like the different ends.
Yeah, he had a 17. No,
You
this
You can't go to
is
no
too early.
store.
Right.
Too early.
It will never not fucking kill me how quick he got out that fucking house.
Quickly. Dust. Okay.
Before
Dust
Shane
behind
ran
it.
out
This
there,
guy got to go.
He already
But-
driving away.
but-
He already
and we'll-
back down.
We'll talk about it when we get there. But I actually really like that his dad didn't try to blow up his spot. He was like, "Oh, I'm intruding. I'm gonna go."
Yeah.
You know, because he could have made a scene and been like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on? Get your hand off my son's ass." But he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be seeing this. Let me get on down the road." I like
because
it.
he was in fact grabbing handfuls while his dad was watching through the windows.
Okay,
Hold
but
on,
to
in
be
it.
fair,
What?
he could have seen much worse.
He
Exactly.
could have.
Much worse.
He could have.
Like, especially if he would have seen them when they first pulled up to
Listen,
that cabin,
about to tear the damn cottage to pieces. You just walked
Right.
in.
taking the walls, like taking the foundation.
The
Like,
foundation of the house was about to come through.
lucky he
Just
saw them
walked
after they got
in.
it mostly out their system.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the start, like the carrying the bags, how are your ribs? I was like, oh, we're in for it. This is going to take us where we need to go.
Yeah.
And it
It's so, I think season 6 was like a payoff for everyone. Like all the shit we done seen these two go through, all the struggle, the heartache, and then they finally get to the cottage and it's like, oh, they get to be happy together. They get to have fun together. They get to be silly. They get to relax, get to let their guard down. Like, and the scene when they first pull up to the cottage and like they're in the house and they're on the couch and Shane is like, I just want to be like completely honest with each other the whole time. Like that scene right there, I remember it from the books, but seeing it play out, I was like, God, what are we supposed to do? They're so cute.
To the point of like, oh, I'm sorry, Tress, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was so like beautiful. And then like the part 2 where they go in the bedroom and Shane starts to like close the blinds and Ilya said, we opening them up. We at the cottage. Can't nobody see. Like open it up.
The point about relaxing, when he said that on the drive over, my Shayla, because he was just like, I want to relax with you. I'm hoping to. Oh, okay.
They are each other's piece, and this episode just reinforced that through and through.
Absolutely.
Thank you for inviting me. I was sick.
Oh,
I was sick.
The grabbing of the hands.
I was sick.
Holding of the hands.
the holding of the hand.
I'm telling y'all, we need to do a drinking game where every time they touch each other, we take a shot.
So we're blacking out is what I'm hearing.
Right.
But just in episode 6.
Probably for eternity, really.
So we're blocking out. Like still.
Every time they touch each other in episode 6, I'll say touch each other in a moment where they don't need to be touching each other, right? Because we're not going to count the sex scenes or anything like that. But just when they're touching each other in a moment where they don't need to, take a shot. Take a shot and see how long it takes for you to hit 15 shots. Because
quick, actually.
Nonstop touching.
Nonstop.
I think that's also one of my favorite things because in episode 5, we got a lot of the intimacy where they really wanted to touch but couldn't. Mm-hmm. And in 6, like you said, Alex, it was a payoff. They got to touch each other all they wanted to.
They had to make up for it.
Had to make up for it.
And it was touching, like when Shane was cooking them 5011 burgers, Ilya came up and did the broke boyfriend pose and said, let me hold on.
Listen. And I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. You know, I love my close personal friend Shane holding it down. But them goddamn burgers
Them
look
5011,
dry.
no
Them burgers
seasoning
look
burgers.
dry as fuck. Okay.
What? No seasoning out there.
Them
They
burgers
didn't look
look
good.
dry as all fuck. Okay.
I
That's
know
why
he
Ilya
got
was
that.
fucking that pasta up because he was starving.
He got
Oh,
that.
and he was
Okay.
fucking that pasta up.
And
What
what?
the fuck?
Like,
Them
he didn't give no fucks about what was being said. He
The
said,
sprinkling of the Parmesan, bitch, that
Yeah.
took me out. I said, you
Put some more up there.
the Parmesan was so fucking funny.
Mind you, he told Shane, he was like, oh yeah, I don't want no pasta. Because he was like, you want pasta or hot dogs? Oh yeah,
Hot
no
dog.
pasta.
Like,
Yeah, I don't want your pasta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he want unipasta. Like,
because Shane was getting them recipes off the goddamn Tasty app because
Yes.
he wasn't looking up, like he wasn't looking up on like TikTok burgers by black
That burgers,
you
black
know,
people.
he wasn't looking that up or shit, even burgers by Asian people. Because really just any ethnicity. They be putting their own flavors, little seasoning, whatever, all up in it. He just looked it up, just burger recipe.
because he didn't bring no
You
seasoning
mad?
y'all. It was just the meat on the grill. There wasn't no seasoning. There
I
wasn't
was
no
so
nothing.
embarrassed. I was
Right.
so embarrassed.
Right.
No.
But I will say he was real as fuck though for saying the recipe called for 8.
That's
and Ilya
true.
was like, just cut it in half. Listen, if you're not good at math, that's a lot. Like, don't ask me to cut shit in half because like certain, we need 1/4 cup of this. How the fuck do I cut that in half? Don't ask me no shit like that because no, I'm not doing that. So I understood him with that. I did. I was like, you know what, Shane, you real. Because yeah, we just gonna have leftovers. We here for 2 weeks. You can eat a burger tomorrow.
You can eat them shits again, actually.
Right.
One of the things in this episode, obviously, that I love to talk about is the parallels. The first one, though, that we really get into is the first sex scene, which I did not realize it coming back. That it's an exact parallel to the first time
Yep.
they went up to the hotel on the 14th floor in the first episode.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that at first.
When they was sucking and fucking. That
Yes. Yes. The hand placement of Ilya's when he kisses Shane dropping to his knees. The exact replica. I said, oh, y'all did that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love Jake. I love him. He's so intentional. Like,
I just think their minds are just they're so good. Like how I can't believe we witnessed this. Like I'm so happy I'm alive in 2026. Like I would hate to be alive in like the Victorian age. One, because I'm black, but two, I wouldn't have to fix it or heated rivalry, Like, and I'm a woman, but like
right.
other than the obvious, what would we have done? Like this would have took out a Victorian child. You know what I mean? Like even a Victorian adult.
They'd have been like, what's happening?
Right. They would have said this is the work of the devil.
Actually.
They would have said this is the work of the devil. Like
Witch.
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 They would have burned Ray up for this. Like
They
it would have even
would've.
all the television.
It would have been a hot mess. Oh, Ray. I'm glad
Literally.
you're alive now, girl.
We love you, Ray.
One of the things that I love that Ilya brought up that actually reminds me of something that you said, Alex, in a different episode was about Shane's dad. And he said, and your dad is what? Boring? Is that where you get your boring from? And how like boring to him, like that's what he wants. That's kind of what he craves. Like that is that safeness, content that he is looking for.
Yeah, I think boring quickly switches from, and when I say quickly, I mean quickly, like quickly from switches from Ilya just teasing Shane to him teasing him, but also thinking to himself, I want that. Like boring isn't just boring. Boring means safe. Boring means peaceful. Boring means structure. Boring means home for him. Like boring is something that's regular, that's reoccurring, that there's a safety net in boring because you know what's going to happen. And him calling Shane boring is like him calling Shane safe. Like Alexa, play Safety Net by Ariana Grande. Like
Ooh, real
that's what
music.
that's what boring means for Ilya. Oh, I got too much tequila in me, y'all. I'm gonna get choked up. Like, it's really so sick how they told this story, because I think the use of boring is one of those like threads that's dropped so early in the show, and we see the way it progresses the same way we see their communication with each other progress. And boring, like I said, it just, you can see the meaning of it shift. Like, and I think the first time it shifts is after the bathroom scene in episode 2, where he says, oh, so boring is genetic. And he's like, wow, genetic. Like that scene right there, I think that's when it shifted. And from then on, every time he mentions boring, he's saying boring, but what I'm hearing is I love you. Boring, you're safe. Boring, I want you. Boring, you're like the easiest person I can be around. Like and I think that's part of the reason why he feels so safe with Shane's parents as well.
That is what I'm really hoping that we see in season 2 is the dynamic between Ilya and Shane's parents.
Yes.
I love, which hate to bring that show up again, but I love an element of found family in a show.
Love it.
And when you killed my granddaddy, I feel like that was lost. So I'm excited to see that kind of unfold in this show, right? Because I look, they really collecting that show like Infinity Stones for real. Because once they add this little found family aspect, you're done.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see that unfold, and I feel like Ilya already has this pretty solid idea about Shane's family. I feel like it's kind of weaved in throughout, like even his first interaction with Yuna, like in the elevator, like I feel like all of those little pieces added up to, which we will get to that scene like after his dad finds them. But I think that's what gives him the confidence to say like it's gonna be okay. Like everything that I've learned about your parents, about your family, like of course they're gonna accept you. Of course, like they're gonna be open to you coming out or whatever. Like all of those, like he can say that because he can see that like Shane has this loving, caring family. And I'm excited to see them like take him in as well.
One of the things that I just absolutely adored about this episode is from episode 1 all the way to 6. You see that the progression of like their relationship and how they interact with each other, but also how they show up for each other. And it was an abundance of Ilya showing up for Shane in the moments where he needed, where his like anxiety was taking over. Like, um, for an example, when his dad does walk in, Ilya knew exactly how to rein him in. I think the when Shane was saying that it was his nightmare, and Ilya was like, "Well, yes. Well, how about we wake up? It's time to wake up from now." Oh, and then also the Svetlana conversation on the couch. Um, the way in which he whispers "okay" to him and then reassures him by pushing his foot, like a physical touch.
Yeah.
And he does it like throughout the entirety of the episode. And it just it for me it's like it's a reward obviously because like we've watched them grow together, but like we it lacked some of the intimacy in the beginning because they couldn't really just be as open with each other. And so now that they are in this episode, to watch Ilya do it over and over and over again and be exactly what Shane needs, as is Shane to Ilya. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
What's the saying that people say? To be loved is to be
Scene.
known, seen or known. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is them to a T.
Yeah.
Because I think, Tay, like you just said, we see throughout the show, I think we see more scenes of Ilya being aware of Shane. And I think that's partially because of Rachel, how she wrote the books.
Yes.
But I think Jacob loves Shane. Like Jacob Tierney loves Shane Hollander and Hudson Williams loves Shane Hollander, right? And we already know Ilya loves Shane Hollander. So you have more people loving Shane. And I think that added a bit more to like the depth of what we see in the show, because we there's so many moments, but like the one I'm thinking of specifically is like in episode 1 when they're in the press conference and the way they touch each other's foot, and then you see that again in episode 6. That was one of my favorite parallels, like throughout the whole show. When I clock Jacob Tierney, I'm telling you, Jacob Tierney, I don't even know what I would say to him if I met him. I'm gonna be honest, he could probably walk right past me and I wouldn't know a thing. Like, I don't know what that man looks like for real, for real. Like, I wouldn't be able to recognize him. But if I did recognize him, I think I would just scream in his face. I would be like, you're so fucking talented. How did you manage to do this? And I think what he added to Shane and then what Hudson brought to Shane just complemented Ilya from the books as well as Connor's Ilya so perfectly. Like, that we see those like moments of physical touch, that reassurance. We see it throughout the whole show, and it's so good. It's so good.
One of my favorite parallels is the Svetlana conversation and how when she's brought up the first time in what, 5?
4.
4, and he is trying so hard and failing miserably to appear unbothered by this conversation and the turn that it's taking, to now we are sitting on the couch clearly experiencing the same emotions, but this time he can clearly say, don't marry Svetlana. He is like so comfortable saying, like, actually no, I don't want you to do that, like, let's go ahead and take that off the table.
Shane Hollander was about to be a 60-minute story. Like, in that moment, it wasn't even a matter of he feels confident. He was like, I better tell him so that way I don't commit murder. Like, I was scared for Svetlana's life. Like, girl.
The people making edits to Beyonce's so what are you gonna do now that you've killed me?
Killed me.
8. That's how I know there are black people in this fandom, because y'all ate with that.
I saw one to ring the alarm, and I
saw that one too.
Oh, that shit was so funny. I said, okay, this is, my people are here. My people are here.
Right. I may not see them, but I see them.
I see them.
No.
He said, what if I kill you? How about that?
Right.
What if I because he was playing with his life. Nobody knew that he was there. Nobody knows that you're in a relationship with this man. There's a lake behind the house.
Ilya
You
said,
playing a dangerous game with your life.
He said, I could marry Svetlana. And Shane said, what if I got a bomb?
Actually,
I got a bomb. Like, that was literally, I don't think I've seen that in like years. The last time I've seen like someone respond to their romantic partner like that. That was such a strong reaction with so little dialogue. I was like, ooh, Ilya.
I'm scared for you, babes.
I'm scared, Pookie.
But it was so good. And I love the little Beyonce edits, particularly to the part where it's like, if she's really what you want, I can wear her skin over.
Oh.
And he was like, and that's what he was thinking in this moment. He was like, oh, I'm gonna make everybody gonna die. So
yeah.
And then he stayed up all night thinking of a solution to this so he could be with his man. And that tears me up. He stayed up the whole night while Ilya over there sleeping peacefully. Could not sleep a wink, sitting in the dark, thinking.
Because if it's papers that you need, we can make some arrangements.
We can make it happen.
We can figure something out.
That was Una Hollander speaking through Shane. And like, that was Una Hollander thinking, okay, this is the problem at hand. Let's figure this out. Because Una Hollander is very Kris Jenner coded.
Right.
Like, the devil works hard, but Una Hollander works harder. So when Shane was up late at night thinking to himself, how can I get my man some papers? Bet this is what we need to do. We need to join a new team. We need to do this. Open a charity. Da, 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 da. Like, he said, we figured it out. Like, that was so insane, but so in character for Shane. It's not even funny. And I'm so happy they didn't have the conversation like the next morning, that they showed Shane up at night, sitting in the dark, up, just thinking, and then waking up Ilya. Cause like, he's like, no, I figured it out. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, he not playing with him.
And oh, go ahead, Tress.
No, that's it. Oh, that scene.
The scene is so good, but then also when we get to the point where Shane is done explaining it, and Ilya's like, "You really think about this? You think this far in the future?" And Shane was like, "About this, yes, I do." And then to continue, and Ilya was like, "Is that what you want to be together?" And he's like, "So much that it scares me."
Mm.
Jacob,
Go get your
Jacob,
baddie chain.
come get your baddie chain. The single tear when Ilya turned his face away. Oh my God, that scene was brilliant, and
Mm.
they did so good, and he crying and Shane crying after he tells him
It's
Oh
so
my
romantic.
God.
Like that is romance. Like truly,
Yearning.
Yearning.
Mm.
that is romance. Like that is romance. Like I cannot remember the last time I've seen and I don't watch much romance to be fair. Like that's not a genre I typically watch. Romance usually like a side plot, but that is easily one of the most romantic scenes I've seen on television in years. Like not even just television, even in a movie. Like it surpassed like I would say it's up there with like the scene from what is it? Like Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte.
Mm,
Because they
Mm.
have some great monologues in there.
yeah.
That one, Tay. Yeah, that one. Like those two scenes, like that's like yearning at its peak, like
Yeah.
Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte, that whole universe. But this like just surpassed those. Like it was so good. And again, it's all about the payoff. It's only good because we saw all the shit they went through in those first 5 episodes.
I know what I'm
Oh,
queuing up when I get up out of here.
Listen, it's time. It's time.
No, because this show has made it to the list of pieces of media that have made me cry. There's
Which is a
only
short list.
it's
it's
a
a
very
very
short
short
list.
list. It's one of the Winnie the Pooh movies. I don't know which one came out when I was like 3, but Piglet didn't have any friends. I wasn't fucking with that. Transformers 2, because I thought Bumblebee was gonna die.
Oh yeah.
The series finale of Supernatural,
Mm.
and
Heated
now Heated
Rivalry.
Rivalry.
You didn't even cry when Pop Pop went to be with the Lord.
And didn't. I was so fucking mad at that stupid ass shit. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Not only did y'all kill him off, but you ruined my song by Hocher."
Mm.
Yeah.
Did.
I didn't cry on that either. I was mad because I also missed the nail concert. I stayed home.
For this.
I would and y'all gonna kill Peepaw? What the fuck?
And they owe you some
Yeah.
money behind that.
Stayed home? You missed.
Well, I had already had a terrible day at work, mind you. Yes, this is why I don't fuck with nobody over there no more. I had a terrible day at work to the point that I had a massive migraine, a headache, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not gonna go to this concert. I'm gonna take it on the chin. Then I was like, oh, it's Thursday. Let me just watch my show. Maybe this will make me feel better.
I
It in
never went
fact
to it.
fucking didn't.
It played in your face so bad.
I remember being so mad when I went to work the next week in office because everyone knew I loved 911. Like every Thursday, I would say, my show comes on this week. Like my show comes on tonight. And when I came back to work, actually, I think I was already fired by then.
Alex, please.
Now that I think about it, I think my ass is already fired.
Mm.
Well, I know someone texted me though. A few people had texted me. They were like, "Damn, no,
No, I think you were still there, sister. I do.
What day did this come out?
when was the episode?
It was on April 17th, 2025. Yes,
I
I
was
know.
still there.
You was
I
at
was
work.
still
Still
there. I was
there.
still there. I was still there. Yeah, because when I went to work, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I remember going to work and people being like, "Don't you watch 911?" And I was like, "Don't talk to me.
I
Don't
don't want
talk."
to talk about that.
Sick.
Yeah.
But
Like,
going
one-
back to real television.
Right.
Right.
So we're getting close to
Wait, I'm so sorry, Tim. I was gonna
Okay.
say, can we rewind for a second?
Yes.
In episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was gonna
Where are
say
we rewinding to?
I was
Because
gonna
it
say
might be
the
what I was
moment
thinking.
where they're at the fire, they're watching the fire. That's what I was
Mm.
gonna say. Were you going back further?
I was going back to the couch scene.
Okay, this is before the couch scene.
Yeah.
The scene where Ilya reveals what happened to his mother,
Mm.
that was devastating. I think that was the first sneak peek into Ilya in the long game.
Yes.
I think the way he said, what did he say? He was like, I don't want you to think she was weak.
Mhm.
I truly believe in the bottom of my heart that he was also talking about himself in that. I think Ilya's already aware of like the mental health struggles he's dealing with,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know how to deal with it. And I think in the long game, we see how that goes. But I think this is like kind of like that first seed where we as the audience were like, you need help. Like something's something's not right there, boo. Like what's going on? Like it's really like a what's going on situation. And I think the way he revealed all that information, and I think the way Shane even received the information, I'm happy that Shane didn't try to like change the vibe, so to speak, because it was a very abrupt shift. But he kept it, he matched Ilya's energy. Like I thought that was another very subtle way for Shane to be there for Ilya without it being very in your face about it. You know, he didn't say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, do you need a hug?" Like he didn't do all of that. Like he knew what his man needed at the end of the day. He knew what his man needed and he was there for his man the way his man needed him to be there for him.
Yeah, amen. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because I feel like there were several times throughout the episode where I was like, ooh, because I hadn't even read the long game at that point, but I knew kind of like what to expect. And there were just a couple times where Ilya would have like a faraway look, and you were like, he's carrying something heavy. Like the scene where they're laying in bed, and Shane's like, "What was your mama's name?" And he's like, "Irina." Why? Like he just kind of was like out of it, and then Shane like kind of brought him back. So it'll be very interesting to see how Connor and Jake, of course, handle
Also,
that in season 2.
I also think the way in which he described her, he's basically describing himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was so happy, so beautiful, and then,
His
but she
father
was also so
also.
sad, and his father was so hard on her. He's
Mhm.
basically explaining himself, describing himself in his current life. So like that, I think he definitely, I can agree with you, Alex, that he was talking about himself as well.
Yeah, that scene that scene broke my heart, man. Like that scene, I was like, oh fuck, season 2 is going to wear me out.
Oh, it'll be
Like
sick. It'll be
it's
sick.
Fine, every week.
I'm gonna be crying every episode watching season 2. Like,
Couple scenes that's just like I know finna take me down through there.
right, and Connor's gonna be acting down.
Yeah.
Oh
Down. Like
God.
because there was he wasn't even saying some things in certain moments. Like trust the scene you just said where they were in bed together and Shane was like, "What's your mom's name?" Like just the look on his face there. I remember I literally gasped when I saw his facial expression. I was like, "Oh, this isn't good. He wants to kill himself. This is not good. Like this is not good at all."
At all.
I think, oh God, that conversation was so well done, but so devastating. But I also think it just showed how much, I also think it's almost like a callback, not a callback, but like just connecting to Shane saying, we need to say whatever we're thinking
Yeah.
right now. And that's what Ilya was thinking. And I think that's why it was also so abrupt because he was thinking it. He promised Shane he would try. And so he said it. And he got it off his chest. And I cried. We all cried. We crowed.
We
Okay.
crowed together.
Crowd is crazy.
I cried. You cried. We cried. We all crowed. Like
Road.
We have to talk about the I love you. But before we get there, I feel like I wasn't surprised by the I love you. And not because I didn't read the book, not because I read the book, so I didn't know it was coming. But I feel like there were so many by the time we got to the I love you, there were so many little scenes that added up to it that made it feel like this is inevitable. Even if you didn't read the book, you didn't know the story, like you were only consuming the show. There were so many little moments, the conversation in Russian, like, and another one was that whole scene about I have this problem. Now he had to call Shane slow in that little speech, but but like I feel like that was another one of those little moments where he's like, "Oh, I have this problem. Like I like women, yes, but this slow hockey player with freckles, and Shane's like this brief moment of insecurity, like, do you want that problem to go away? And he's like,
Mm,
no, I don't. So like, and this was
never
before the I
ever.
love you. So like by the time we got to the I love you, it was almost like I was waiting on you at the door. Like I knew it was
Really?
coming. We all knew it was coming. It's just a matter of like when is it gonna come out? And when it did,
yeah.
even though I knew it was coming, I was still just as floored as like I was like, wow, like these are my two close personal friends, Shane and Ilya, and they love each other. And I love this for them, you know?
What's reading it in Russian first? Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
was just so beautiful. Like the
Oh,
chemistry between the two of them. Like the only scene that compares to me, I got to bring up Scandal. I got to bring Scandal into the narrative. This scene in the Rose Garden where Fitz is like, I love you. I'm in love with you. You're the love of my life. My every feeling is controlled by the look on your face. Like just real yearning, real
Mm.
love. Like just the way that the chemistry that Connor and Hudson have. I mean, it's just so beautiful.
Tay,
That's
you
the
made a
only reason
really
why it hit that hard.
Tay, you made a really good point earlier when we were sadly talking about that first responder program about like storytelling, right? And how you don't have to say the words to tell a story, right? And I feel like one of the ways that this show told a story is through those very minuscule micro expressions.
Yep.
Like that whole I love you scene, one of the little things that I noticed was the slight panic on Ilya's face when he said it, right? And I think he was having flashbacks to Tuna Melt, like ready to walk it back if he needed to, and then the immediate relief on his face to hear Shane say it back. I was like, that is storytelling. That whole thing told an insane story, and yet he only said 3 words.
and another point to him clamming up when he says "I love you" and Shane doesn't immediately say it back. How did he think he was gonna walk that shit back? You were half naked on top of this man in the bed. First of all, you said it in Russian twice. How was you finna walk that back? How
With
was you gonna
tears
walk that back?
streaming down your cheeks, mind you.
Mind you, you crying. You love that man
Casual.
bad.
It's nothing casual going on in this scene.
There was no walking back. There was no walking back.
Do
You
Like,
just
you
gonna
think
accept that fate.
do you think that him hearing it in Russian was a realization that he had heard it before?
Shane,
Hmm.
yeah.
facts. I definitely think that he recognized it because as a neurodivergent person, I feel like he would have recognized that he heard it in that monologue or heard a version of it in that monologue. Um, and so I don't think he knew exactly what it meant, but I for sure knew that he heard it before and that it obviously was something sweet because the man is crying and kissing me. So I obviously know that it's like something of endearment. I might not know that it's I love you, which I don't think he knew it was I love you because when he says it in English, the shock on Shane's face, like the holy
Yeah.
shit, I don't think he knew that it was I love you, but he
Yeah.
definitely knew that it was something mushy or like sweet.
Yeah, I think he knew it was a term of endearment, but I think you're right, Tay. Like when he said holy shit, like the shock on his face, that was him realizing that what Ilya had been saying was I love you. And I think he realized he knew that, like he had heard that before. Like he heard I love you, not oh, I care for you, not, not whatever other mushy words they could say. It was, oh shit, he's been saying I love you this whole time. Me?
Right.
And then he was like, wait, I love you too. The fuck? Like, I also think the I love you scene did recover the scene where they said each other's first names for the first time. Because honestly, that is really the only part of the show that I felt was missed. Um,
Yeah.
episode 4, when they say Shane and Ilya for the first time, I don't know what happened there. Like I just, like I don't know why it looked like that. Like I don't know like what was going on in that. But the way they, and I think it was such a big moment in the books. I felt like it was kind of a missed moment in the show. Like it felt like they forgot about it and then added it in later. Or maybe they had to cut the scene where it was said and just added the dialogue into another scene. I don't know. But the way they said I love you, I think made up for it. I think, and all the scenes following that, like those immediate scenes after, I think it made up for that.
Hmm.
That scene was so beautiful. And Shane is so real for being like, holy shit. Like just like, whoa, whoa. Because he has been openly pining for this man. He been crying, he been screaming, he been throwing up. Like he was literally about to kill that man. We was about to be on Snapped over Svetlana, but then you finally hearing like he feels the same way. And Shane knew, but I think just having that confirmation, it was just like, whoa. And I feel like that was one of the very few moments where Shane was just so unguarded. Like he was just like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't controlling his reaction there. That was just purely Shane hearing "I love you." Holy shit. Like it was
Just taking it
such a
back.
real
Yeah.
reaction.
So we get the actual teardrop too, that like dropped a little further, like
Yep.
this is in the corner of his eye. Oh, and then he had the death grip on Ilya's hair. I said, oh.
Yeah.
Hey, you not moving.
Mhm. Once that I love you was out there, it's like the floodgates were open and they would
Yes.
not shut the fuck up. They would not stop saying, "Oh, I love you, I love him." But
Yeah.
one of my favorites is the hockey school
Mm.
when his mom comes up and it's the she would have loved you.
Ah!
Like I was sick.
Like I love
I was
you.
like if you look closely, you can see me over there drowning myself in the lake because I was sick. I
And I
was
was right
sick.
next to you, friend. And I was right
Right,
next to you in that
Right.
I
water.
was sick.
Right there next to you. Like she would have loved you like I love you. Are you
he's
fucking kidding me, Jacob? Are you fucking kidding me?
And he wasn't.
Like I don't
ugh.
even have the words. Like the look, and then especially coming from the start of that scene is Ilya, you can see the expression on his face. Like you can see that he was probably already thinking of his mom. And
And Shane just brings him back. Like, what was your mom's name? And he just immediately, Irina, why? Like, oh,
right. And I think it's just another way to show because so many people, I don't like the let me tell you, if you're one of those people who try to say, oh, Shane doesn't love Ilya or Shane was leading Ilya on, or vice versa, that Ilya was leading Shane on, I don't fuck with you. I don't
Period.
fuck with you at
at
all
all.
because those two have been so down bad and in love with each other from the jump. It's sickening. And I think that moment was just one of the moments where Shane is showing how much he truly loves Ilya because here he is thinking, I'm thinking we can name the charity, we can make it, a mental health, we can donate to mental health organizations um because of Ilya's mother. Like that is pure love. Like that is love, that is love, that is love. Oh, fuck them. I'm tired. Like it's just
Like actually, I can't
like
keep doing this.
right.
I can't keep doing this. Ugh.
And then it all goes to hell.
Oh wait. Let's talk about this little scene where they in this damn lake and Ilya talk about some gimme
Give me
kiss.
kiss.
Him being a gimme kiss ass man is taking me out.
But you
And
know
don't forget
he
the
is,
ankle
though.
kiss.
Yes.
I
Don't forget,
love lover boy Ilya. Like, he like,
Bad.
come here.
and don't forget and also someone left a comment on one of my TikToks, maybe it was on YouTube, where they said also this is the first time that Shane and Ilya have been able to be like that silly high school sweetheart type of couple. They didn't have a chance to be. Like this is the first time they can actually do the silly domestic things. And it's like that's why the ankle kiss, the gimme kiss, him playing in the water, like all of those things, that's something that you would see like in almost like a younger relationship, like in a high school, like in a new relationship. And like technically this is a new relationship. They just became a couple, like an official couple.
Like, actually, I'm gonna drown in that lake. Because
Yeah.
why would somebody point that out? Why would somebody point that out? Also, want to point out that the one time in the show that we actually hear like um Shane not be so monotone is when he's talking to Ilya, and Ilya's talking about the little documentary. So I'm asked about where he does yoga. And Shane was like, wait, you saw that? And he
Yeah.
has a pitch in his voice. Oh.
Yeah.
Which goes to show, I think, also him feeling more relaxed and like not having to be on guard and not all that much in his
Not
head,
masking.
not masking. Like, damn,
Mm.
this feels so good. I gotta stop.
It's so good,
It's,
y'all.
it's
Gotta
layers
stop.
to it. It's layers to it, y'all. It's layers to it. It's so good. Like, give me kiss though. Oh, wait a second. We're too far. We missed something.
What we
Did we,
missed.
we miss, what did we miss? The soccer scene, maybe?
The phone call?
The phone call.
Oh,
The phone
Oh,
call.
we missed
The
the
phone
phone
call.
it's a
call.
phone
They
call.
were so freaked out in that scene. Like, I know Hayden heard that huffing and puffing and
He
breathing.
had
He
to.
was like,
Okay, does Hayden know? Do we think he knows?
I don't think he knows.
In the book, he
there's
definitely
a
doesn't
lot
know,
going
right?
on.
No, he
Hayden.
doesn't.
I think
I mean, he got kids, so he got a lot going on at home.
I do
so.
think Hayden's also kind of an idiot. Like, I say that with love,
Facts.
but
He don't have the sense God gave a rock. I feel. No, he actually don't know.
I feel like
Sorry.
Hayden is kind of like, would himbo be the right description for him?
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
I just feel like
Yes.
he doesn't really think. Like, his mind is hockey, wife and kids. Shane's my best friend.
Yes.
That's it. Those are his three thoughts, and they just rotate depending on what's going on in the moment. Like, I don't think he knows. I feel like he wouldn't. No, I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows at all. Have you seen that TikTok video though of someone showing like recording the phone call from Hayden's perspective, like what Hayden was
Yes.
saying?
Yes. I said there's no way that man didn't know something was going on
Yeah.
on the other.
Absolutely did. Like,
What?
because Shane had the phone up to his mouth talking about some. I would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like,
What are you doing
I'm like,
actually?
are you trying to chase down the Amazon driver? What's going on?" Like,
No, and he talking about some Amazon.
Right.
He is such a bad liar. The silent retreat into Amazon. We got to work on it.
we got to work on it.
And right before the phone call, to your point, Alex, that what somebody said about this being like their first relationship and like we're getting all the things that they would have did if they were younger, yada yada yada. Them being able to play and joke with each other about the game was one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
of it. Ilya talking about some I'm on the cover of the fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually that was a flex, but
That's absolutely why Shane bought it too.
facts, you know it. You know it.
Oh, my man on the cover.
Let me get it. Yes. Because why do you have that? Why do you
Yeah.
have that?
I was gonna say the end of the scene when Shane is telling
Oh.
Ilya, he's like, because Ilya's like, "Oh, you like this because it's reckless," or something like that. And Shane was like, "In the beginning, yeah, it was. We were just being reckless, but that's not what this is anymore." I love that moment because even though the whole time they've been in the cottage, most of episode 5 was Shane reassuring Ilya, like not just reassuring, but also revealing to him that he feels something for this man. But this is before they say I love you and all that. I think him saying that's not what this is anymore. That's him telling Ilya, listen, like I get when this started, this was very casual. This was very us being young and reckless and stupid. But right now, I don't play about you and don't play in my fucking face no more. Like I will kill you. Don't do that shit. Like I think that was such a good way to kind of shut down any worries that Ilya might have had at this point. And it also again goes back to Shane saying we need to be as honest as possible while we're here. Like that is something, promise me you'll be as, you'll say whatever's on your mind. I think that was another example of that because he's like, wait, it's not just because you're reckless anymore. It's I love you. The fuck? Like he is very adamant in saying like that's not what this is anymore. And I think we see that reassured, like we see that reiterated throughout the rest of the episode too.
Then it all goes to hell.
And the way that scene is framed, can we talk about this? Like, it looks like a horror movie. It looks like somebody done came up in that house ready to rob people. Whole time is our good friend David.
Listen, my first thought was you ain't got no alarm. No
Nothing.
security, no ring doorbell,
And
camera, or nothing.
Ain't worried
Guardian would
about
have surely
nothing.
sent a notification. Guardian would have surely sent a
Ilya did
notification.
say, "Oh, your phone's been ringing all day." It was probably, he was probably calling to let him know.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it all goes to hell. Mister
Because he
Hollander.
needed that different phone block.
He needed that.
Trust though, someone did point out that they think that it was filmed that way because this was Shane's worst nightmare.
yeah. I can see that.
Of course.
And
I love Jake. Oh my god.
The way it was filmed though, I genuinely screamed. I knew what was happening.
Same.
And
I was a little scared. I was a little
like,
scared.
what the fuck? Who is that? Like, I wasn't expecting it to be filmed like that. Like, that was truly filmed like a slasher film or some shit. I was like, who's this? But I do love the way it was filmed. And I love the conversation that happened after David left when Ilya was comforting Shane. It was I love the scenery of it. It was bright. it wasn't dark.
Mhm.
It was like, especially comparing it to that first episode where they were in the dark, very low lighting, and pretty much most of the show they're in low lighting. It's very dark, almost hidden. And then you have this scene where Shane is discussing coming out to his parents, and it's very bright. You see a lot of greenery. There's a bunch of sunlight. The windows are up. Like it was
That's
just,
the
I
problem.
thought this scene was pretty. Yeah.
That's what got y'all in the situation in the first place. All the damn sunlight and the windows and
Hey,
blinds and
hey,
stuff open.
y'all
Right.
should have closed them blinds up.
Right.
Like, oh, that scene was so beautiful. And, we've been talking about this throughout, but I just feel like I mean, it's been 10 years together, but they really just know how to comfort each other. And then also, I thought it was very funny that Shane went to his comfort place, which was on his knees in front of Ilya, and
That
just
was
had
crazy.
to hold his leg.
That
He
that
needed
was a reflex response.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, Tay, I think in like on our first episode, you talked about how, or maybe we talked about this on live, maybe in a video, but you had mentioned that like you see their like bedroom dynamics come into play
Yeah.
throughout those early episodes, especially like before you see the intimacy. You're just seeing like the sexual components of their dynamic. And I think that moment in episode 6 where Shane drops to his knees, I think part of it was Shane was so stressed, he literally just like collapsed almost. But the fact that he felt safe going on his knees in front of Ilya and hugging him around his legs, like that, it said a lot. And it was very much that like Dom sub dynamic, like very much touched on that. Yeah.
I feel
Mhm.
like Jacob did a really good job of making us feel exactly what they felt
Yeah.
because every ounce of anxiety that Shane had in that moment, I feel like I could feel it. Like from the pep talk, the you're brave, the drive over and the anxious fidgeting and the reassuring and like every step of the way, I was like, damn, I know it's gonna work out, but is it? Like,
Right.
like I feel like I'm about to crawl out of my skin. Like my heart is racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the drive over there, because the funniest fucking part to me was when they're about to get out of the car and Shane gonna tell that man, maybe you should stay in the car. The look that Ilya gives him, like, bitch,
Maybe
are
you
you
should shut up.
serious?
Maybe you should shut up and get your ass out this car.
Maybe you should shut up, actually. Get your ass in this house. That shit takes me out so fucking bad.
Also,
He
like,
was so
Oh,
funny
in
in
the
that
car,
scene.
and he was like, "You can't wear that shirt." He was like, "Oh, they don't know I play for Boston."
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's the least of
He
your
was
worries
so
right now,
serious.
okay?
Like,
He
you
was
worried about
like, "Is
that
this what you
right
worried
now?
about?"
Right.
Oh.
Oh,
It was
And
great.
then
It
they
was
get in the
so well
house and
done.
they up there standing like two badass kids that done did something wrong.
right.
I love the cute little "It's me, Shane" when he walks in.
Yes, what you announcing yourself like that in
We all know what it
the
Big
TV?
means.
ass windows, those big ass windows showing them walk up. It's me, Shane. Who
He's
the fuck else?
so baby.
Okay. I need to ask you all this because there were a lot of people kind of tearing me up over this TikTok that I made when I asked this. I I really liked, and I got from that scene when they showed up that Shane's dad did not tell Yuna what happened.
Yeah.
That like she did not know because she seemed more surprised that Ilya was standing in her fucking kitchen than anything else.
Yeah.
But people were like, he did tell her. She did know. She was just giving him the space to say it himself. I was like, I don't know. I didn't get that from that scene. It seemed to me like he got home, he may have been a little flustered, but like he didn't come out and say, "Oh yeah, Ilya was all up in his ass," like so I don't know. I don't know. What did you think? Did you think
I think
he
we
had
talked
told
about
her?
this. Didn't we talk about this? Because we all collectively was like, no, we don't think he told her, because the questions in which she
Right.
said, but then also it felt like his dad was trying to give him the opportunity
Yeah.
to say it himself or like talk about it himself. I don't think he told her.
When I tell you they was in there arguing me down, she did know. She was
Yeah.
just giving him the space to
Did
to
she know
come
in the
out with it
book?
and say it himself. I
I
was
think
like,
in the books she already knew, but I
In the
don't
book,
think
yeah.
she knew on the show because she like you. Is that like David walking the house, Ilya digging in that ass like it was a kid?
right,
Hey, like she was like, hold on, why is this Russian man standing in my
right,
kitchen? Like,
with this
where
fucking
he
t-shirt on.
Right.
with his Boston t-shirt? Because she don't play that. She Montreal
I
down.
don't
She don't play that.
I think if David did tell her anything, it was very vague. I don't think he said Ilya is over there with Shane and I saw them kissing. Like I don't think he told her all that. I think he may have said Shane is over there with someone, like Shane is with someone, and probably saw that her husband was freaked out, so it obviously wasn't Rose, but I just don't think she knew that Ilya was over that man's house or that a man was over Shane's house. Like I don't think she knew all that. I think she knew someone was over there, and I think she knew whoever was over there freaked David out. Like I just don't think she knew that it was a man or that it was Ilya.
No, I agree. I agree. I also, one of the things that, like, in their conversation with Shane, telling the lovers thing is funny. We can't
That was
skip past it.
hilarious.
Like that was funny.
Hilarious. Can everybody stop
Ilya.
saying it?
Like,
I wrote that down. Like that was funny as fuck. And because like Ilya was genuinely trying to help and trying to give him a word to say, and yeah, Shane's like, that's gross.
They
But
haven't said the B word yet. They
say
haven't
what?
said boyfriends yet. So yeah.
Yeah, they hadn't said boyfriend yet, so he's trying to give him a word. I think when Shane tells his parents that he loves him, I also think that I would have liked, not to say that how it was shot wasn't perfect. Y'all don't get me wrong. Love how it was shot. But I think that like it would have had more of an impact on Ilya to hear him. Cause like he could have told his parents, cause like early in the episode, he's like, you can tell your parents that you're gay without telling them who you're fucking, right? I get that at that point Ilya was there, and like the dad had saw them. I also still think that like Ilya might have gone into it not expecting Shane to tell them that they're in love or like actually together. So I feel like he would have had more of a reaction to Shane just blurting out, just like, no, actually, I love him. But I get also that at that point, the point was to show like the reaction of the parents. We'd already had the I love you scene to Ilya, we already seen his reaction. So at that point, the impact wasn't there for to show his reaction. I get that. Still would have thought that like it would have been he would have had a little emotion, I guess, with Shane saying it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole scene of I think the I think the scene of Shane coming out to Rose is neck and neck with Shane and Ilya coming out to Shane's parents. I think it's such a well done scene, specifically when he talks to his mother one on one. I love the fact that his mom apologized and he didn't dismiss her apology. He accepted it and said, I forgive you. Like, I think because when you see like in the earlier episodes, what is it, like episode 4, episode 5, when you see him with those brand deals and just conversation with his mom, you see that she is, whether intentional or not, she's putting pressure on him. Like there is a pressure on Shane to, I mean, even the Rolex email in episode 1, they say he is, handsome, he's the right personality, like all these things we know about Shane Hollander, but all of those things is what makes him a good brand ambassador. And I'm like, that's just added pressure that he cannot do anything to rock the boat because he has all these brands. His mom points out all these kids who look up to him, that he's also a representation for being an Asian Canadian in the league. And then all these things, which is why I think him saying, Mom, I really tried. Like, I really, really tried, just reinforces like he wanted this to be easy. He really did not want to take the more difficult route. And I think, again, it kind of connects to that conversation he had with Ilya in the hotel room in episode 5, where it's like, I'm completely gay. You're not completely gay. Like, he's just realizing like I tried and we saw Shane try. We really did see him try. We saw him try. He gave it his
We
all.
saw.
He gave it his all. And unfortunately, he loved that man.
Did you see Yuna's actress Christina comment that under Hudson's post when he went to Jimmy Fallon?
No, what did she say?
She was like, is that a Rolex that I see? I was like, I love them.
That's
I
funny.
love their
That's funny.
dynamic. I loved in this scene that it didn't take the stereotypical, we need some time to process this. I
Yes.
love that they were surprised, but not for the reason that like he thought they were gonna be. And like I was edge of my seat waiting for them to be like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna work, like, or like, oh, we just need some time to sit with this, and we still love, the stereotypical
Yeah.
thing that you hear in that moment. And then, which is, I think that was a perfect setup for the unit conversation, because she gets up and it makes you think like, oh my God, this is too much for her. She can't handle it. She needs some space, so she's outside doing the mom cry thing, or I'm just, and you're thinking like, oh, she's disappointed, she's this, she's that. And then she says, I'm sorry. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. I love that she
Jacob,
was disappointed in herself.
right.
Yeah.
She was disappointed in herself and not him. And I was like, that was exactly what he needed to hear in that
Yeah.
moment, because
I,
I feel like we've talked about this before about like that pressure, that exists among like Asian families. And so like that was like exactly what he needed to hear in that moment, that like she wasn't disappointed in him and was more so disappointed in herself.
I think I read somewhere that that was one of the first scenes that they filmed together.
Hmm.
what?
It's
That's
cool
And so that
because
makes it so much more beautiful because like they didn't even have like the
All the context and everything
yeah.
filmed.
And it
Oh,
was great because like you said, Alex, up
like
until this point, Yuna was the Chris Jenner. She was the momager. Like we
right.
hadn't really, I mean, we knew that she clearly loved Shane, right? But up until this point, like all we really saw of her was momager, this brand
Yeah.
deal and this, and make sure you're looking like this, and these people look up to you. So I thought that this was a really, really cool way to show their relationship dynamic and show like how much she actually does care about Shane, like as her son.
Yeah. And to be fair, she locked back into momager as soon as she went back
Oh,
in.
quickly,
She
quickly.
said, okay,
She
I think we can get a
listen.
pride campaign going for Reebok. Like,
correct, Yuna.
no time. I'm like, your son
Yeah.
didn't say a single thing about coming out to the public.
She said, I got the it couple at my table right now.
Right.
Okay.
And she
Let's lock
knew it.
in.
Like, I also think just the moment of Ilya's or her asking Ilya, you would leave Boston for Shane, and he didn't even hesitate. He said,
He's like,
"Yeah,
yes.
yeah." Like, fuck, are we talking about? Yeah, and I think it also shows just the difference in how, and we see this in the long game when Ilya talks to his therapist, but how Ilya views hockey versus how Shane views hockey. Whereas I think Shane likes hockey because he likes it, he enjoys it, he's good at it, and that's something he truly enjoys to do. Whereas Ilya likes hockey because it's an escape for him.
Mm.
And I think Ilya used hockey as an escape from his father. It was something, didn't he say his mom used to watch him at games and stuff too? Like that was something for him and his mom, most likely. And then he just continued it after she died. But hockey means a lot more to Shane than it does Ilya. And I think you see that. And I mean, he even says it, now I see where you get it from when he's eating that spaghetti.
tearing that food up. He needed that.
Tearing it up. That's why when they left, he said, "Thank you for pasta."
He did say that.
He sure did. He said, teach Shane how to make this.
Right. Thank you for pasta.
I also think that they did an amazing job with the conversation between Shane and his mom. We do talk or have talked about the pressures of like Asian kids with their parents and also things like that. But I also think that it was just so important because a lot of kids who do have or feel the pressure to come out to their families or are maybe caught in a certain situation and then have to explain it. I think it was very impactful for them to see it done in the manner in which it was done. I think it's I think we have all who were put in that position would have wanted our parents to apologize for not being a space for us to be able to come out and say it on our own time or however we would have liked to. And so watching that back and like comparing it to like my own story of like the story of friends or like other family and things like that, it was very I guess like affirming that like this is possible. Like other people have had these stories, other people have had this happen. But I think also telling the story of a gay couple online, it's a lot of times it ends in tragedy or it ends in things like an unhappy ending. It's never an HEA. And so I think not only including the HEA with Shane and Ilya, but including one with his mom as well was chef's kiss. And I think that when you're telling a queer story, it was important to include that. So I'm very glad that he did. Jacob, like I said, babes, come get your baddie chain. Okay.
Right.
At every turn, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Because I saw a lot of discourse about it online, and I obviously wanted to record my own video, but it got like it. I was talking forever. But
It's not
I
too
do
late.
think, huh?
It's not too late.
You know, because it was long, but I do think that it was very important to show that. And her saying that, like, apologizing, so many of us genuinely wanted that. Like, oh, you did not make a safe space for me to feel like I could ever bring this to you. And now we're in this space of like, oh, I have to bring it to you because you done seen something you shouldn't have saw.
Yeah.
And instead of it being a safe space and like a parent apologizing, a lot of us didn't get that. And so it was very nice to see it on the big screen, and then also to see it from a person of color. I'll be honest about that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people say how like the final episode really like healed something in them that they didn't know need to be healed. And because really the only other truly like positive coming out that I can think of that's been seen on media, not to bring it back, but Glee. I remember when Kurt came out to his dad, that was one of like I remember in my like how old was I? I was maybe like 13, 14. That was like the first time I had seen a gay character come out to their parents explicitly and have it be well received. And I think that's he's the only character in the show who has because Santana had the exact opposite experience. Oh shit. Tay, I forgot you was
Completely
watching
fine.
Glee. I'm sorry.
It will not spoil anything for me. Please.
Okay, I
It will
completely
not spoil.
forgot you was watching Glee.
It's
Shit,
okay.
as I was talking, I was like, fuck, my fault. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I forgot. My fault.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everything
Oh,
comes
it's
back to
okay.
Glee. I feel like Glee has probably been mentioned in all three of these episodes. That's
Oh,
It
something.
for
has.
sure.
And you have to. You
You
have
have
to.
to.
That was some of the first gay representation we saw. You know,
Yeah,
like that kind of started it all. So yeah.
yeah. And I mean, between Glee and Modern Family, those two shows did wonders for
Yeah.
gay representation in media.
Absolutely.
Obviously everyone's not represented in those two shows, but it still did wonders. And I mean, I forget, there's like a study that showed like how did people view gay marriage pre-Glee and post-Glee. And it's a significant difference. So like you can't deny the impact that Glee had. And I think Modern Family, the episode where Cam and Mitch get married, is like one of the highest viewed. It was one of the highest viewed episodes of television that year. And it broke records, if I recall correctly. So I think Heated Rivalry just took that to the next level. I think Glee and Modern Family kind of gave the queer community like just the acceptance, right? Like we accept you. This is a positive. This isn't a negative. And then I think Heated Rivalry took it to that next step where it's like, not only is this accepted, but I'm sorry you felt like I wouldn't accept you. I'm sorry for everything I said that made you feel like I wasn't a safe space, right? And I think that's something that I think really when you talk to any like demographic, but any marginalized groups, there's so many like internalized things that you don't even realize can be a offensive or compromise someone's safe space that you don't even realize because it's not outwardly like it's not a slur, it's not you saying anything derogatory, but you just don't realize because again, like her saying fuck him right up the butt when in like episode 2 or 1 when she was talking about Shane, like that was meant to be derogatory. That was an insult. She don't even know her son getting that every other night.
Sad.
Like you don't even
Sad.
know. So I'm like, there's certain things where I'm just like, I feel like that apology just took that coming out scene to the next level. There could be other scenes in media I'm just not familiar with, but I think they did it very, very well.
They did. I love that scene. And I also just love the way that Yuna talks to Ilya in that scene of her being like, oh, So you would leave Boston for Shane? And like, that's a good thing, you know, that her son's partner is willing to like give up so much for him. But then to her, she like, so you can't even be loyal to that little team. I'm like, you
Like, girl, relax. Actually,
like
relax.
she
But
did this for
he
your
answered
baby.
it beautifully.
Yeah.
He answered all her questions beautifully.
Oh, he was ready for his mother-in-law. He said, come on.
Yeah. And I cannot wait to see more of them in season 2. I can't wait. That is one duo I'm so excited for.
That's her favorite son.
Yeah.
And
No, that's her favorite son.
I've only been in love with one person. He ate,
Oh,
he ate with that.
Oh,
weird.
oh my gosh. And then that kiss, which, you know, I've shared this with y'all before. I don't know, were we on live, were we speaking in private, whatever. It could never be me. Like the only time my family will see me kiss a man is on my wedding day. And even now, I'm gonna be like, ooh. But they reacted to it so well. Like the way they were just like, oh.
yeah.
Since rookie season,
I mean,
girl,
they wasn't doing nothing to calm Shane down, so I wish they would have judged. Like,
just looking.
you're watching your son panic.
And they just sitting there with the pasta right in the middle.
Right.
That's it. Just
When Shane and Yuna were having their conversation outside, what you think David and Ilya was talking about?
Ilya was fucking that pasta up, and David was
Right.
Ilya was
They were talking about the Russian vodka that David got.
That part was so funny. He said it's Russian, it's the good stuff, and Ilya said, right.
He said it's good vodka. He said, yeah, I tried to get the Russian stuff. He said,
He said,
But why did he turn? He turned and looked at Shane right after he said it.
Well, Shane like
Tell me your daddy was buying Russian vodka.
right.
Shane also likes the Russian stuff, so you know they had that connection.
Right. Got that in common.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. And then the end, just you know, just to take it there, it cracked me up when they was leaving that house, and they said, "Please call first." And they said, "Hey, yeah, we will." He said, "Call, text, all that."
Right. He said, thank you for pasta. Please
Please text.
Please text. Thank you for pasta. Please text.
And they said, "Oh no, we be there 5:30." Text.
No, David said we'll text. Yuna was like, "What? We'll be there around 5:30." He was like, "Please." Text. David said, "We'll text." David
I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
I've seen
Yuna didn't need to see that. Yuna didn't need to see him digging in that ass. Like, what are you doing to my son?
No. And then just the last scene with them driving away. Oh,
So happy that they did it. They did it. They're so happy.
The post-credit scene. I'm saying post-credit scene like it's a goddamn Marvel film, but it's like the scene where the credits are rolling and them in the car. I love the fact that I think it was Hudson or Connor. They said that Jacob said, "Just act like each other, but like we're done. Like this is it. We're done. Like just do whatever you think Ilya and Shane would do." But it was really like Connor and Hudson, and you can see them saying, "We did it."
Cut the cameras. I love
the cameras.
Cut the cameras.
And that's
God, this was a good fucking show.
They did it.
The best show of 2025 by far.
Honestly, one of the best shows of the 2020s.
One of the best shows ever, actually.
Like, when the decade ends and Rolling Stones comes out with those top 20 moments of the top 20 pop culture moments of the decade, this will be up there in the top 10.
If it's not in the top 5, I'm gonna have to go down there and
because what y'all doing? Because what y'all got going on down here?
See me outside.
Wow.
Any other thoughts about Heated Rivalry episode 5 and 6, or just in general?
So many, but we'll be here for the next 7.
We'll be here forever.
Right.
Y'all know we yap about this real bad.
Yeah. Right. Love this show.
Can't believe this is the last episode. This has been so fun, y'all.
Well, not ever. You'll definitely be back
Of
at some point.
this arc. You know, it feels like it did that night, Christmas night, when we all left our family members to be with our other family members, you know?
I had to work. We had to work.
Not just Christmas, but Thanksgiving too.
Yes.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, because I wasn't clocked in then. I was clocked in.
I was clocked in. I said, I'm going to go
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Like, my show is on. I didn't even know it was gonna be my show at that point, but yeah, something told me. Something told me.
I'm
And
in
it
your
was
spirit.
This has been extremely fun, and I'm so glad that y'all. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's why you know it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
this has been great though, and I appreciate y'all so much for coming on and yapping with us. Although it's another Tuesday for us, I have enjoyed this, and I know the people that have been watching it have enjoyed us yapping about this show. We will continue to yap about it, but I would like to thank our special guests
Yeah.
so much for joining us for not just one, but 3 full
Yeah.
episodes.
And it only felt right. We started this journey together, so it only felt
Yes.
right that like we did this together as well.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm a
Well,
cry.
yes. Well, yes.
Like this ain't the last time we're gonna see each other. Now we acting like this is goodbye.
Hey, I miss y'all, and we still here.
We're
Like,
gonna be on live in like probably 48
Right.
hours talking about it again.
Right. But yes, thank you all again for tuning into another episode. Before we go, Alex and Tress, can you tell them where to find you?
Yes, you can find me on TikTok or on YouTube. I'm posting more on YouTube now. Same at Hallie Hallie. Yeah, for TikTok and YouTube.
Second Hallie has 3 L's.
Second Hallie has 3 L's. 3 L's. The 2 L's was taken, so had to move on to that third L. Yeah.
yeah. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Tress Camille. I'm gonna start posting on YouTube very, very soon.
Love it. Well, thanks again for watching, tuning into another episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Let me bye.
Bye.